5. Krebs, you're still wearing that beard, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yes, right where I left it, on the end of my chin.
I told you get rid of it.
The chin?
The beard.
Don't you tell him, like, please?
Sergeant, the recruiting officer back home told Maynard he could keep the beard as long as it doesn't interfere with his duties.
And I ain't never stepped on it, nor single no enemy with it.
Well, if you ask me, Krebs, you're getting away with murder.
I didn't ask him. Did you ask him, Joe?
Not me, no.
Krebs, I got my eye on you. Now, the second that this brush gets in your way...
Like...
Everything under control, Sergeant. We don't want any accidents with these new men.
No chance of that, sir. Checked into everything. The situation's completely under control.
All right, what's going on here? What's the matter with this man?
Yeah, nothing, sir. He just got his beard caught in the bolt mechanism.
Sergeant, see that he gets rid of that beat-up monstrosity. It's dangerous, unsightly, and a menace to health and safety.
Yeah, I don't think much of it either. Here.
The beard, not the weapon.
I got you.
Krebs, now I got you. The next time I see this beard, I want it to be stark, staring, gloriously naked. Is that clear? Gillis, I'm detailing you to make sure Krebs gets shaved right now on a double move.
I won't do it. I'll run away. I'll go under the hill.
Maynard, that's over the hill and quiet. You're getting shaved.
I won't shave.
Dobie, Dobie,
In the short time I've been in the Army, I've learned a snootful about the duties and obligations of the American soldier. He must be energetic, he must be resourceful, he must be devoted to duty. But above all, he must be brave, manly, fearless, and bold.
I've had this beard ever since I've been a little tiny baby. I want to keep it.
You can keep it, Maynard. You can put it in a little bag and keep it under your pillow.
Oh, no.
Maynard!
No.
Maynard, come back here!
I ain't gonna say it.
Maynard, you got her shaved!
No, Dope, I'm scared. I don't even know if I got a chin under here.
Maynard.
Oh, man, I might be like old Adams apple.
Maynard,
the chest
you've
up.
gotta shave.
Oh, Dope, my family never went in for chins. Man, you should have seen the beard of my grandmother.
Hold your breath, soldier. This is it.
Oh, at least blindfold me before you shave, before I please, Dope.
To get you life shaved before the Army finds you home away from home in the guardhouse.
I gotta shave, huh, Dope?
You gotta shave, yes, Maynard. Look, you're in the Army now. You've gotta knuckle under. You've gotta be one of the boys.
With this beard, it's a cinch I ain't one of the girls.
Look, Maynard, you're only...
Gillis! Krebs! Where are you, you miserable clowns? I'm gonna kill you! Gillis! Gillis! I'm gonna kill you!
Men, will you be seated, please?
Yes, sir. Hey, Dobe, this is the Army. If you keep standing there with your mouth open, they'll come along and yank a couple of teeth. Dobe.
You rang?
Your friend would like you to sit down, soldier, and so would I.
Forgive me, my angel in khaki is, sir.
Next, we will take up the subject of the rights and privileges of the soldier.
How I'd love to hold that soft velvet hand in mine.
That's gonna be kind of tough between salutes.
Yeah, I almost forgot she's an officer and I'm an enlisted man. She's not allowed to have anything to do with me. What a rotten break.
Cheer up, Dobe. A lot of people won't have nothing to do with me, and they ain't even officers.
Maynard, I could raise myself to her level. I could go to officers' candidate school. I could become a lieutenant.
I could be a giant if I was 4 feet tall.
Sure, why couldn't I be an officer? All it takes is hard work and perseverance and the ability to learn lots of things real fast. And I just answered my own question.
Now, which of you men is going to discuss the rights and privileges of the American soldier? And what about you, soldier?
Like me, sir?
Yeah, he's Private Krebs. I'm Private Gillis, Private Dobie Gillis. Lieutenant, I'd be more than happy.
At ease, Private Gillis.
Yes, sir.
Let us proceed, Private Krebs. The rights and privileges of the American soldier.
The rights and privileges of the American soldier by Private Maynard G. Krebs. You know something, Lieutenant Ma'am, sir?
What?
We ain't got none.
Of course we have. In civilian life, I was a practicing attorney, and I can tell you that an American soldier is above all a citizen of the United States. He's entitled to such rights as religious tolerance, the right to vote, the right to military justice, including the right to demand a court-martial.
Court-martial? That's like a right?
It certainly is.
Oh, no, sir. Court-martial, they like lock you up in the guardhouse and all you get is old moldy bread and water with little green bugs in it.
You got it all wrong, Private Krebs.
What if a hypothetical recruiting officer told a hypothetical soldier that he could keep his beard, but a hypothetical sergeant told him he had to shave it off? Could he like demand a hypothetical court-martial instead?
Maynard, you're talking yourself straight into solitary confinement.
You state an interesting example, Private Krebs. Certainly the soldier could take it all the way up to a court-martial.
Like a
As a matter of fact, there was a very similar case right here on the post last year. One of the soldiers refused his GI haircut.
Like a
Quit before they get here with the handcuffs.
He took a court-martial and was defended by an enlisted man in his own platoon.
And he like won, huh?
What a trial it was.
And he like won, huh?
It was a magnificent display of democracy in action.
And he like won, huh?
Well, no, he lost. But it was a fascinating court-martial.
And he like lost, huh? He spent the rest of his life in the guardhouse eating old moldy bread and water.
Well, that's not the way it turned out at all. The soldier was given a very light sentence, and the enlisted man who handled his case was sent to officers' candidate school.
He like lost, huh? Well, farewell, old chum.
Lieutenant, did you say that the fellow who defended this other soldier was sent to officers' candidate school?
Right. He handled the case so beautifully, they felt he was officer material.
And he like lost.
And now he's an officer and he can date other officers, like, for instance, you, Lieutenant?
And he like lost, huh?
Oh, well, that's all for today, men. Report back to your barracks. Class dismissed.
Officers' Candidate School, Lieutenant Gillis. Lieutenant Portia Potter, I am Lieutenant Dobie Gillis, your equal. You and I will make
Good
such
buddy.
beautiful
Good buddy.
music.
You were right all along about my beard. I'm gonna find a razor and naked Chinsville.
Shave off your beard?
Yeah, I'm getting tired of people coming up and trying to buy cough drops off me anyhow.
Maynard, that's not a beard, it's a sacred principle.
Well, I'm gonna lather up and goodbye, sacred principle.
Maynard, you will touch that beard over my dead body. Show me one place in the Constitution where it says an American citizen cannot have a beard.
Like, wait here. I'll go home and read the Constitution.
You know what that beard is? It's constitutional. That's what it is.
Good buddy, you're all brain. I mean, you're up there with Socrates, Pluto, and Mort Saul.
Thank you, Maynard, but you haven't seen anything yet. Just wait till the court-martial.
Court-martial?
Uh-huh.
Good
Yeah.
buddy, if a naked chin cat walks up to you and says like hello, it'll be like me.
Maynard, sit down. You've got to trust me. We'll win this case.
Like wheel?
Right, the two of us together.
Oh, dope, good buddy, you're all heart. I mean, locking yourself up in that old, damp, dark, scary old cell with your old buddy.
No, Maynard, you don't understand. I'm not exactly going to the guardhouse with you.
Oh, you're gonna bake me a cake with a file in it.
No, I'm defending you in the court-martial.
No offense, but I'd rather have a cake with a file in it.
Oh, there you are, Krebs.
Where?
Didn't I order you to shave off that beard?
Well, if anything happens,
Private Krebs refuses to shave.
Oh, you refuse,
That's
huh?
constitutional rights.
Look here, Krebs, I know how it is when a soldier's new in the army, and he's homesick and he's scared, but
Don't
that...
try to crawl out of it, Sergeant. He's going to fight this thing right up to the White House.
Krebs, all right, don't move. I'll be right back.
Don't worry. He'll be right here. Don't worry about that.
Ooh, he looked mad, Dope. I wonder where he's going.
To get advice, probably. Didn't you see the look on his face when I mentioned the Constitution? Ah, Maynard, you've got him right where you want him.
Stone walls are not a prison, mate. Nor iron bars a cage.
Maynard, enough! Maynard, stop worrying. You've got the Army scared to death.
And like vice versa. I can get 6 months in the guardhouse. 6 months is longer than a year. I'll be wearing a striped suit and a ball and a chain and breaking rocks and doing all kinds of prisoner-type work. Stone walls are not a prison, mate. Nor iron bars a cage.
Maynard, enough! I'll handle this. All you've got to do is show him you know your rights. You've got absolutely nothing to be scared of.
At ease. All right, where is he? Where is that prisoner?
That's the man, Colonel.
Yeah, that's
Private
the man
Krebs.
right there, sir. Private Krebs.
Great Scott, Sergeant, you had no right to mistreat this prisoner.
No, sir. Maynard always looks like that.
Sergeant, make a note. Keep that man out of sight whenever we start a new recruiting program. Yes. Out of business. Soldier, I hear you refuse to shave off that beard.
Who said
He's
so?
the
Who
man,
said
sir. He's the man.
Now look here, Dribs.
Colonelship, it's Krebs. Private Maynard.
Maynard, I'll answer the question.
And who in blazes are you?
Private Gillis, sir, in charge of this case.
What?
New regulations, sir. Enlisted men may serve as counsel for the accused.
Now, Sergeant, let me see a list of the charges against this prisoner. Disgraceful. Direct disobedience.
right.
Do you realize you could get 6 months in the guardhouse for this?
Calculated risk, sir.
Yes, sir. I mean on bread and water. Moldy old bread and water with little green
Maynard.
bugs in it. And
Cease and desist.
Krebs, I should prosecute you to the limit. But I may go easy on you. Just looking at you, I can tell that you're a rather, shall we say, unusual type of soldier.
It's American know-how, sir.
Yes. Krebs, a legal officer from the Judge Advocate General's office, is coming here on his regular tour of inspection next week. Now, I don't want him to think that we on this post don't temper justice with mercy, especially in regard to new and,
Unusual?
soldiers like you.
Well, I go with all the Yankee ingenuity, sir.
So I tell you what I'm going to do. You shave off that beard, and I'll tear up these charges, and...
I'll be in Scotland before you. Oh, boy, no moldy old bread, no water, little green bugs in it like, wow, wow! Ooh.
That's straight thinking, soldier. Sergeant, release the prisoner.
Oh, now, just a minute. Just a darn minute. Don't let him out.
What?
Like what?
I'm sorry, Colonel, but Private Krebs cannot accept your offer.
He can't.
I can't.
He stands on principle.
He does.
I does.
Principle? What principle?
Principle? What principle?
The principle that the order to shave off his beard is unconstitutional.
I does.
In fact, he may be able to prove that the whole United States Army is unconstitutional.
Oh, I get it. A couple of guardhouse lawyers. Well, I think I know what to do with a thing like this. Soldier, you're inciting to riot, spreading false rumors, gross insubordination, mutiny. Now, what's that one they threw at Benedict Arnold?
Overtime parking?
Oh, yes. Treason.
Oh, no. I mean, like, have mercy, like, please. Oh,
Keep
please.
smiling, troublemaker. You may get out of the guardhouse by the end of the month, but I can't guarantee which year.
Don't be discouraged, Maynard. It looked bad for Captain Dreyfus of the French Army, too.
But he got off?
You bet. And all he served was 9 years on Devil's Island. They say I got my eyes and chin from my father, and my nose and forehead from my mother. The one thing that I developed all by myself was my big, fat mouth. But I still had one hope. Lieutenant Portia Potter of the Military Justice Department. I hoped against hope that she'd come up with an idea. And she did.
Plead insanity.
It's a long shot, but Maynard might be just the one to pull it off.
Not Maynard, you. How on earth did you ever get him into such a mess?
Gosh, Lieutenant, you told us soldiers have rights.
I know. It's my fault, too. Doggone it. If only that officer from the Judge Advocate General's office weren't coming.
From the head legal office of the Army?
Right. He'll be here for the court-martial.
Hey, if I make a real smart defense of Maynard's beard, maybe he'll commission me right there on the spot, and I won't even have to go to OCS. We can start dating right away.
Gillis, is that why you took on Maynard's case, so you could become an officer and take me out?
Well, yes and no.
Meaning what?
Meaning yes, I would like to be an officer and take you out, and meaning no. Somehow, suddenly, it's gotten to be something much more important than just taking you out.
Oh, well, thanks a lot.
All of a sudden, I've come to realize that there's a principle involved here. A big principle. You said it yourself, Lieutenant. Soldiers have rights just like any other citizen. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And for Maynard, happiness is a bunch of whiskers on the end of his chin. Well, Lieutenant, maybe I haven't got a chance of winning this thing, but I've got to fight just the same.
Gillis, you're kind of a nut, but you're absolutely right.
Gee, I hope so. I keep thinking of my poor buddy Maynard locked up in the guardhouse while I walk around free as a bird. Tomorrow I'll be home on a weekend pass, and Maynard, where will he be? Behind bars.
So, what's the worst that can happen to him?
Oh, he spends 3 months on KP, garbage detail, scrubbing the barracks like that.
And how does Maynard spend his time when he is not being punished?
On KP,
Garbage detail, scrubbing the barracks. See, it's all the same thing. You can't possibly hurt him, boy.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Dad, but I'm going to conduct his defense at the court-martial, and I'm afraid I'll do the wrong things.
What wrong things? All you gotta do is exactly like I tell you. I know everything there is to know about courts-martial.
Yeah.
After all, I was a first sergeant, you know, with
Dad,
the
look.
good conduct
Yeah.
medal. And you don't get one of them things without you keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Yes, sir.
Now, the first thing you gotta keep in your head is that every time the other side says something, you jump up and yell, "I object!"
I object.
Right. Oh, of course, not all the time. For a change of pace, sometimes you jump up and you yell, irrelevant, immaterial, and inconsequential.
Well, what does that mean?
Who knows? They always say it just before the commercial on Perry Mason. And he ain't lost a case yet.
Maynard isn't just an ordinary prisoner.
True. With him, I think maybe you better use the sympathetic approach. You know, big, gooey globs of sympathy.
Your Honor, you can't send this boy to prison. You ask me why? I'll tell you why. Because he is not a criminal. He is the innocent victim of circumstances. You can't send him away.
I don't know, Dad. Those Army officers are pretty strong-minded fellas.
Oh, pish-posh. And remember one thing. Always keep a good grip on your suspenders.
Well, we don't wear suspenders.
I'll loan you a pair. It's psychology, son, psychology. A lawyer who's got a good grip on his suspenders has got a good grip on the case he's handling, see?
I don't know if it'll work, Dad.
What do you mean you don't know if it'll work? It worked for Lionel Barrymore. It'll work for you.
You're better. I wouldn't want to hurt Maynard.
Oh, don't worry, boy. You got everything going for you. The Gillis brain, the Gillis personality, the Gillis gift of gab, and best of all, Herbert T. Gillis in person.
You, Dad?
Oh, you bet, boy. I'm coming up to that camp and watch my silver-tongued boy save this poor, miserable, broken-down yard bird.
Exhibit A for the prosecution. The beard of the defendant, Private Maynard G. Krebs. That beard is the cornerstone, in fact, the repulsive cornerstone, on which this case is built.
I like object.
You can't object. You're on trial.
I like object to that, too.
Order! And sit down. Proceed, Lieutenant.
The prosecution will show, beyond all doubt, that this beard is aesthetically indefensible, militarily unfeasible, and architecturally unsound. In addition, we shall prove that the order to shave this beard was based on military necessity and does not violate constitutional right.
Yeah, I object.
Overruled. Sit down, Private Gillis. Private Krebs, take the witness stand.
Did you or did you not, on the morning of April the 18th, enmesh, entangle, and otherwise ensnarl Exhibit A in the breech mechanism of your rifle, Exhibit B?
Would you mind repeating the question and leaving out the part where you pull my beard?
Answer the question, Krebs. Did you catch your beard in the breech mechanism?
What's a breech mechanism?
Sir, I suggest that a soldier who doesn't even know what a breech mechanism is would tangle his beard in his rifle 2 times out of 3. A clear-cut danger to life and limb. Step down. I call Sergeant Wincoop to the stand. You are the defendant, Sergeant?
I am.
And did you order Private Krebs to shave, scrape off, or otherwise remove this beard from his face?
I did.
Describe in your own words what happened.
He didn't.
Did you warn him of the possible results of such an attitude?
I did.
Then what did he say about shaving off the beard?
He wouldn't.
Would you tell the court what language you used to him when he disobeyed you?
I dashed.
Sir, the prosecution rests.
Private Gillis, is the defense ready?
Yes, sir, we are.
Proceed.
Your Honor.
Hey, don't let him shoot me before lunch. I was too scared to eat breakfast.
Cut that out. Did you practice with that rifle I smuggled into the guardhouse?
Like all night.
Yeah, how many times did you tangle your beard in it?
Like not once.
Great, you're practically a free man.
Oh, boy, I'll see you like later.
Your Honor, gentlemen of the tribunal, learned counsel. Don't send this boy to prison. Why, you ask? Why? I'll tell you why. Because I shall prove that the order to shave off his beard was not a military necessity.
Objection! The witness admits he caught his beard in the breech mechanism.
Ah, yes. But I shall prove that it was a 1 chance in a million accident. That it would never and will never happen again. Private Krebs, prepare to simulate fire. Now, gentlemen, you will observe how efficiently and safely Private Krebs handles his rifle. Is he prepared?
Oh!
The defense requests a recess. Some client.
Your Honor, it is obvious that the actions of the defendant have made my closing argument unnecessary. Furthermore, his disobedience to a direct order calls for the full penalty allowed by law. The prosecution rests.
Private Gillis, is the defense prepared to offer its closing arguments?
We are, Your Honor. Gentlemen of the tribunal, learned counsel, may it please the court, my final plea is not for Maynard G. Krebs. No, because Maynard G. Krebs is not on trial here today.
No offense, though, but I am.
Maynard, quiet. Maynard. No, gentlemen. One little soldier, innocent or guilty, it is nothing. But one beard vindicated everything. That's right. That's what's on trial today. The beard of Maynard G. Krebs and the beards of all freedom-loving men from time immemorial. Yes, gentlemen, a sky full of bearded warriors looks down on this court. If you convict Maynard G. Krebs, you are also convicting such men as General Robert E. Lee, General Ulysses S. Grant, General Stonewall Jackson, General William Tecumseh Sherman. These men were free, untrammeled spirits. What mattered was their fighting hearts, not what grew on their chins. If they chose to express themselves by wearing beards, who are we to say they had no such right? Shall I speak now of more great bearded men? Very well. Private Krebs, show us the next picture. The pictures of such men. Ow, ow, ow! Maynard!
Ow, 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 Dobie's got me, Dobe. Oh, no. Here we go again.
Maynard!
Order! Order in the court. Gentlemen, are we ready to cast our ballots?
In light of the evidence, I don't think we'll have much trouble reaching a verdict.
Decision is unanimous. I feel sorry for poor Krebs. He's a pathetic case. We have no choice.
Sir, I've just been informed that the officer from the Judge Advocate General's office has arrived on the post.
Splendid. He's just in time to see justice done. Order. Order in the court. The defendant will rise on the charge of direct disobedience. Specification that Private Maynard G. Krebs did willfully grow and refuse to shave off his beard.
Sir, Colonel Overholt from the Judge Advocate General's office.
The proceedings of the court, gentlemen. Please continue.
That Private Maynard G. Krebs did willfully grow and refuse to shave off his beard, which is considered unsoldierly, unsightly, and unsanitary. The verdict is... not guilty.
I got absolutely no offers to go to officers' candidate school. But I did get a wonderful, sweet message from Portia, Lieutenant Potter. She invited me to drop over to her house next weekend to meet her fiancé. He's a civilian. Well, anyhow, Dad had a good time.
Oh, Dobe, I was proud of you today. A real Lionel man, all right? And you too, Maynard.
Thank you.
Maynard, you really put the brass in their place.
Thank you.
Can you imagine the guys thinking a puny little beard like this could get in the way with a laugh? Oh, Maynard, what are you doing?
Dobie a gal who's dreamy, Dobie. Wants a gal who's creamy, Dobie. Wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamer at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
Ah, my dear, you dance like a feather, like a sea breeze, like a wood nymph.
So how come you're all the time stepping on my feet?
Oh, sense of humor, I like that. Not only beauty and grace, but also wit. Ah, how I look forward to the long, lazy days ahead. You and I, my dear, hand in hand, walking through life, song in our hearts.
Boy, have you got a wrong number. Look, Buster, I come here and dance with you service guys because it's my patriotic duty, but that's as far as it goes. So you'll just have to forget this walking through life hand in hand. We'll finish this foxtrot or whatever it is you think you're doing. Goodbye, Charlie.
Dobie, not Charlie. Dobie, that's my name.
And that's the break. Look, pal, in case you haven't noticed, the music stopped. So why don't you just flick off like a good little soldier? Okay, Clyde?
Yeah, Dobie Gillis, that's my name. Dobie Gillis.
Fine. Don't call me, I'll call you. Did you say Dobie Gillis?
That's what I said, Dobie Gillis.
You're sure?
Since I was a baby.
You're really Dobie Gillis?
Sure, why?
Here's why.
Dobie, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, Dobie, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, Dobie, goodbye.
In my hometown, there's a servicemen's recreation center where us GIs go when we're home on leave. It's a nice place. They've got dancing and cookies and donuts, and the hostesses are friendly. Very friendly. Do you mind? Do you mind? Please, please. Please don't think I'm ungrateful, Miss...
Hazel Grimes.
Miss Grimes.
Call me Hazel.
Hazel, like I say, please don't think I'm ungrateful, but I don't get it. 1 minute you treat me like I was a case of shingles, then as soon as I tell you my name's Dobie Gillis, like wow.
Like wow.
Yeah, Hazel, I'm a fool for asking, but how come?
I promised Mother.
Oh. Huh?
Well, your name is Gillis, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're the only Gillis family in town. I checked in the phone book. So, you must be Herbie Gillis's son, true?
True, but nobody's ever kissed me for that reason before.
Well, let me explain. You see, Mom and I just moved into town. We're living at the Shady Rest Trailer Court. But Mom used to live here a long time ago, and she and Herbie, your father, ran around together when they were in high school.
Your mom and my dad?
Mm-hmm. And she told me to give your father a big kiss hello from Bubbles if I ever ran into him.
Bubbles?
That's Mom's nickname, Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Well, anyway, she told me to give your father a kiss for her, but since I've never met your father, I'm giving you the kiss so you can deliver it. See?
I see. But, Hazel, my dear, if you don't mind, I'll just give my father a firm handshake and keep the kiss for myself. Because kisses from those sweet lips are to be treasured like rubies, like diamonds, like pearls from the deep blue sea.
You're kind of cute.
You are the sun and the moon.
Oh, you're real cute.
Come, my sweet. Let me take you to a funny little place I know where they serve pancakes till the wee hours.
Well, I'd love it, but haven't you noticed everybody else has gone home? Don't you soldiers have some sort of rules about curfew or something?
Rules, my dear, are made to be broken. Now that I've found you at last, do you imagine that there's a power on earth strong enough to keep us apart?
Does that answer your question?
What are you doing to my baby?
Madam, I am delivering him safe and sound to the bosom of his family, instead of throwing him into the clink for violating curfew, which I have every right to do. Call me sentimental, if you will. But if I were a married man, which heaven forfend, I might have a son this old. Maybe even this dumb. And I would not like to think of him lying in the pokey with hardened criminal types, learning intemperate language and picking up antisocial habits.
Violating curfew. Son, I am disappointed in you. A boy like you, coming from a military family the way you do. I was in the big one, you know, WW2. I was a first sergeant with the Good Conduct Medal.
Steeped as you are in military tradition, perhaps you can teach this young man that 2,400 hours means 12 o'clock midnight.
At which time he's supposed to be off the streets and tucked into his little trundle bed.
Sure, Sarge. And thanks for bringing him home.
Forget it.
Thanks, Sarge.
Just another service of your friendly military police. Good night, Sarge. Good night, ma'am. Good night, you wayward boy.
Such a nice man. What a shame he isn't married.
Yeah, the poor devil. No family, no responsibility, no nagging, no bills piling up. Kind of gets you right here. Never mind the now, Herbert. So how about a few now Dobies? Now, Dobie, what do you mean by breaking curfew? You know what a stupid question that is. What's her name?
Oh, she's a wonderful girl, Dad. You probably know the family. Her mother went to school with you.
Oh, no kidding? What's her name?
Hazel. And she comes right up to here on me. She's a doll, Dad.
I don't mean the daughter, the mother.
Oh, Herbert, you're cute.
Oh, it was kind of a funny name. Oh, yeah, I remember. Bubbles.
Oh, Bubble. She must mean some other Herbert T. Gillis. I don't remember anybody named Bubbles. Well, I better get to bed. I got a big day's work tomorrow.
Herbert, think hard, Herbert. Bubbles. Surely that sweet, lovely, innocent name means something to you.
No, I used to know a girl named Frida. Used to whistle Swanee River through her teeth and eat saltwater taffy at the same time as Bubbles. No, well, I better get to bed.
Herbert? That name Bubbles surely means something to me. Bubbles Corrigan?
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
You don't recognize the name that was famous all over town along with the name of Herbert T. Gillis?
Nope. Well, I guess
The Bubbles Corrigan who was caught spooning with a certain gay young blade in a rumble seat outside of the senior dance, and the principal turned on the sprinklers? That Bubbles Corrigan. Well, I haven't forgotten that rumble seat incident. Not in 20 years I haven't
And
forgotten
for 20 years, I have been telling you that story is all wet.
Do you deny that the principal turned on the sprinklers, and that 5 minutes later you and Bubbles Corrigan were found standing on the lawn, dripping wet?
Well, good night, Winnie.
Herbert T. Gillis, don't you dare walk out on me.
Now listen.
Because I am walking out on you.
Son, you believe me, don't you?
Well...
Look, this whole thing is a terrible mistake. I was standing on the lawn when the principal turned on the sprinklers, so naturally... She must be going through the house twice. We ain't got that many doors.
Morning, Dad. Look, I dug out your high school annual to see what Hazel's mother looks like. Cute.
What's the matter? Are you out of your mind?
Why'd they call her Bubbles?
Quiet your mother.
How about you and her in that rumble seat, huh,
I
old
told you
Dad,
that
huh?
wasn't me. It was somebody in Bubbles, but it wasn't me.
Ah, come on, old Dad. You can tell me. I'm in the Army.
Then you're going to be a home front casualty if you don't shut up and get out of here. And forget all this stuff about Bubbles, will you?
I gotta go meet Hazel, but you can tell me later, old Dad.
I tell you, I'll drill a hole in your head and pour it in. Oh, you see.
Must have been a good book the way you were laughing.
Oh, yeah, just looking at the account book. Oh, business is good. Makes the guy want to laugh.
You were looking at your high school annual.
I was? Say, how about that? Oh, yes, I was looking at that, too, yeah. I was looking at our old basketball pictures. Boy, were we funny looking.
You know, I saw a very interesting thing on one of those detective shows on television. You put a book down like this, and you let it go, and it drops open right to the page where it's just been opened.
Oh, Winnie, they dream up a lot of junk on those detective shows.
Like here, to Bubbles Corrigan's page.
It's like I said, they dream up a lot of junk on those detective stories.
Helen Corrigan, the Bubbles, most popular girl.
Yeah, it seems to me she did win that year. Well, I got a lot of work.
Where did they take this popularity poll? In Lover's Lane?
Now, Winnie, don't get jealous.
Don't you tell me what to do. If you want to know, I've been jealous of Bubbles Corrigan ever since I started going with you.
Winnie, Bubbles got married and moved out of town before I ever met you.
Yes, and if she hadn't gotten married and moved out of town, you never would have met me. I always knew you had more fun with Bubbles and that crowd that you went around with than you ever had with me. And now I know that all of these years you've been wishing that you were married to her instead of to me.
You are the only girl I ever really cared for, honest and true.
You mean that?
Well, of course I mean it, and if this old thing disturbs you... It does disturb me. Into the trash can. There, see? Nothing to it.
Herbie, darling. Oh, now I feel better. Now I can face the house.
Oh, the morning glories are glorious in the morning. And
Like hiking, buddy.
Hi, Maynard.
Hey, Doe, where you been keeping yourself?
Look, Maynard, no offense.
I've been looking all over for you. You missed the whole thing. Man, what a profound gas.
Missed what whole thing?
You're joshing, ain't you, Dobe? They tore down the old Endicott building yesterday. They got one of these great big giant iron balls hanging on a long wire, and they swing and it goes...
Maynard. Maynard. Maynard, enough. Maynard, as I was saying... Maynard, are you finished?
Just one more.
Is that it?
That's it, good buddy. Of course, the old Endicott building's just a heap of rubble now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what an age we live in. In the morning, there was the Endicott building, a magnificent skyscraper, 3 stories tall, and 12 hours later, nothing. And you missed it all.
Maynard, there's something you have to understand. People are different. You, for example, like to see buildings torn down. Me, on the other hand, I like girls.
You'd be better off watching buildings torn down.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that if you knew Hazel. This time it's different.
Yeah, I know, Dope. I know that's what you say every time.
All right, so I haven't been lucky with girls in the past, but this time it is different. Why? Because I'm different. How?
Because for the first time in your miserable life, you got some money in your pocket, thanks to the United States Army.
Maynard, are you suggesting that Hazel's after me for my money?
Hi, Dobie, dear.
Hello, Hazel, my lamb.
I am Maynard G. Krebs, and I would like to ask you a question. How much is the enlisted man's pay scale in the United States Army?
Maynard, look.
$83.20 for privates, $85.80 for PFCs, $99.37 for corporals, and $122.30 to $175.81 for the first 3 grades.
And how much is the quarters and rations allotment for married personnel?
Maynard.
$51.30 plus free medical and dental expenses, plus PX privileges.
You're a witness.
Maynard, you've got a very suspicious mind. I'm ashamed of you.
Funny you were talking about allotments for married men. I was just thinking of the same thing myself.
Oh, allotments?
Married, silly.
I like rest my case.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to come home after a hard day of marching and drilling and find someone waiting for you?
Somebody like you?
Someone exactly like me.
Gee, it'd be wonderful.
There's like a problem.
What's that?
They don't allow girls in the barracks.
Never mind.
Sweetie, I have a wonderful idea.
Huh?
Let's you and I go look at furniture. I know this store that has some of the cutest stuff.
All right, my angel.
Oh, and Dobie, wait till you see 5 whole rooms of furniture for just practically nothing down.
5 whole rooms? Didn't you say that you and your mother lived in a trailer?
Huh?
Sure must be a big son of a gun.
Maynard, you're destroying a beautiful romance.
Come, dear.
Yes, my sweet. Maynard, go home.
Hey, what's this all about?
He's been following us around all day. It's disgraceful.
They've been looking at furniture. That's like disgraceful.
Looking at furniture.
Dobie, dear, aren't you going to introduce me to these nice people?
Oh, sure, Hazel. Mom.
Nobody needs to introduce me to you, Mr. Gillis, because you're just as cute as Mom said you were.
Hazel, I want you to meet my mom.
How do you do, Hazel?
Hello. Mom's all the time talking about the wonderful times you and she had together. She must have a million stories.
Oh?
The kicks the 2 of you must have had.
Oh.
My mom said when you were in high school, you were a dancing fool.
Oh.
Well, I better get home and get myself prettied up for our date tonight, Dobie love.
We're going dancing on the Peabody roof.
Don't let them go there, Mrs. G. That's close to City Hall where they dish out their marriage licenses.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Gillis. So nice to have met you. That was from Mom. Bye, Mrs. Gillis. Ta-ta, Dobie love. See you at 7.
Farewell, my lovely. I shall count the seconds until that glorious hour. Arrivederci, my sweet.
Yeesh. Don't you yeesh, you hypocrite, you.
Who's a hypocrite? I don't approve of her either.
A likely story.
Like a likely story.
You stay out of this.
Dad, you don't approve of her? Why, she's the cutest and most popular girl in town.
That's the trouble. It's stupid to chase after a cute girl.
Oh?
Sure, get yourself a girl like your mother. That's what I mean. What I meant was, if you get yourself a girl like your mother, you never have to worry about somebody trying to steal her away from you. You're getting me all fouled up. Look, take some advice from your good old dad. Anybody can chase after a cute bit of fluff like Hazel, see? But there aren't many that'll chase after a girl like your mother. Oh.
Thank you very much.
She must have had a whole new slew of doors put in the house. That's what she must have. Winnie, I'm telling you for the 1,000,000th time, Bubbles Corrigan never meant anything to me. You are the only girl who ever meant anything to me in my entire life. Honest, truly, honest and truly. Winnie, will you talk to me? You haven't spoken to me in 8 hours. Say something. Will you say anything?
Go get dressed to be late for your lodge meeting.
Oh, she spoke to me. Oh, she spoke. Oh, Winnie, you're a down. No, she spoke to me. She spoke to me. Oh.
We're closed. We're closed. Oh. We're closed.
Honey, if you'd been slinging hash like I have for 20 years, you'd be onto that old trick. You Mrs. Gillis?
Yes, but I don't
I'm
believe
Bubbles
that.
Grimes. Used to be Bubbles Corrigan. Maybe you heard of me. Yeah, you heard of me.
I think I recall that my husband may once or twice have mentioned your name.
I'll bet he did, the old rascal. Hey, where is the old Cuddle Bunny? Upstairs?
He's gone to a lodge meeting.
Oh, what a pity. I want to see him. I mean, I figure we ought to get to be one big family now that Dobie and Hazel are hitting it off. Huh, sister? Hey, where is this meeting? Maybe I'll trot around there and have a couple of laughs.
Cleveland.
Cleveland? Ohio, Cleveland?
It's a sort of a convention.
Winnie, where's my tie? The hand-painted one.
Cleveland gets closer by the minute, don't it? Oh, Herbie! Oh, Cuddle Bunny!
Cuddle Bunny? Who's that down there?
You'll find out in a minute, kiddo. This the way to Cleveland, honey?
Herbert, you remember Mrs. Grimes.
He may not remember Mrs. Grimes, but I'll bet he sure remembers little Bubbles Corrigan. Herbie, baby, how are you?
Yeah, I heard you were back in town.
Yeah, back to stay this time. Here, let me look at you. You look wonderful.
Yeah, well, you look pretty good yourself.
Flattery will get you nowhere. I know how I look, but you haven't aged a day.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean it.
Well, I got to admit that the old belly is still flat as a board.
Herb always had the flattest stomach in high school. How nice.
Yeah, and the biggest chest, too, in my weight class. That is light heavy ones.
Lovely chest. I can't believe it. You look like a boy.
Oh, I guess I've been lucky and like the crockery. All mine, nothing store-bought.
Lovely.
Of course, the hair's backed up a little bit.
Oh, I think it's very distinguished. You know what they say, grass doesn't grow on a busy street.
Yeah, well, I'll admit the old bean has had a lot of use.
Herbert, you have a lodge meeting tonight, remember? And you know how you look forward to your lodge meetings.
Oh, you don't have to tell me how Herbie loves his meetings. Sociable Herbie, they used to call him. Why, he never missed a meeting, a picnic, a clam bake, a dance. Dance. Herbie, you remember the kangaroo hop?
Oh, sure.
Shall we?
Well, it's been years.
Oh, you're not going to tell me that Lightfoot Herbie ever forgot a dance. I doing the kangaroo hop, da-da-da. We're going to dance till we drop.
Hippity, 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 hop, hop, hop.
Hop, hop.
Hoppity, 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 bump, bump, bump.
Bump, bump. Oh, doing the kangaroo jump, da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hippity, 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 hop, hop, hop.
Hop, hop. Hoppity, 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 bump.
Bump, bump.
Bump, bump. Oh, doing the kangaroo jump, da-da-da-da.
Herbert, if we don't eat right away, you'll be late for your meeting.
Oh, who wants to go to an old lodge meeting? A bunch of bisons bellowing and snorting. I can go down there anyway. Look, why don't we all just sit down and have a nice long talk about old times? I got a better idea. Why don't you sit down and join us for supper?
Oh, well, I don't want to put you to any trouble.
Oh, trouble? Winnie can push a meal together in jig time.
Well, I wouldn't dream of...
Oh, Winnie loves to cook, don't you, Winnie? Why, Winnie's never happier than when she's out there in the kitchen sweating over that hot stove and whipping up some sort of a gourmet's delight like pot roast or breaded tripe or something like that. Right, Winnie?
Right. Lightfoot Herbie.
a nurse out there. Sure, that's it. I always do.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, sure, you got them red eyes from watching television. What is it? What's a woman as lucky as you got to cry about?
Me? Lucky?
Well, you got a nice home here, a good kid, a swell husband. What more could a woman want? I sure wish I had something like that.
You seem to be having a pretty big time tonight.
Well, I just better, because that's all I've got. Hand the fellas a few laughs, keep it light, keep it breezy. I mean, I'm no threat to you. Herbie's your man. Nothing's ever going to change that. Certainly not anything like me.
You don't mean that.
It's the story of my life. Bubbles. Good for a few laughs, but for the long haul,
I don't believe it. Men like you.
And not for long. Even Grimes, that's Hazel's father, walked out on us a long time ago. So, I've been taking jobs all over the country and trying to raise Hazel ever since. Looks like I'm making an awful mess of that, too.
Well, she seems to be a very popular girl.
So was I at her age. And look what happened.
Oh, dear, you do need a home, don't you?
Fat chance I've got.
Well, why not? You're attractive. Perhaps, dear, if you don't mind my saying so, if you were a little bit quieter and maybe, forgive me, you dressed a little more conservatively.
Thanks for trying, Winnie. But it's too late. A lot too late.
Oh, it's never too late. You stick with me. We'll think of something.
Thanks, honey. Oh, listen, there's something I want to get straight with you. You know that story about Herbie and me being caught in the back of the car the night the principal turned the sprinklers on? Well, that wasn't Herbie. That was me and another fella.
Oh, that's all right, Bubbles. You don't have to try to cheer me up.
No, I mean it. It's the truth. I had a date with Gus Bonder that night. And he played football, see? And if they caught him breaking training, they'd throw him off the team. So he ran like a bunny.
But Herbie was in that rumble seat.
You know why Herbie was in that car? It was past his bedtime. So about 11 o'clock, he sneaked out of the dance, climbed into the car, and went to sleep.
No.
Yes. And that's when the principal turned the sprinklers on.
Oh, no.
It was the funniest thing.
Oh, Winnie, this is a great meal. One of your best.
Thank you, dear, but it was all Bubbles.
Oh, all I did was...
The soup, the meat, the dessert, the salad, and the coffee.
Oh, come on.
I think it's a shame, a crying shame, that some lucky man hasn't got you for his own.
Well, that's what I keep telling them down at the diner.
This is serious. What we ought to do is find Bubbles a nice, good, steady, honest, reliable, decent man.
Excuse me, please. Madam, it grieves me deeply to invade your hearth and home, but I must point out that your son, a private in the United States Army and therefore under military discipline, seems to have violated his curfew again. Madam, isn't there some way we can teach this boy what 2,400 hours mean?
Now, listen,
Hush
I
up,
can
Dobie.
explain.
Sergeant, if memory serves correctly, you said you were a bachelor, didn't you?
Yeah, sure.
And would you say also that you were a steady, honest, decent, reliable man?
Well, I should hope so.
Sergeant, I want you to meet a very dear friend, Mrs. Helen Grimes.
Over there's the high school where Maynard and I spent a lot of happy years.
I set like the record.
Yeah, sure is a pretty building, all right.
Yeah, you ought to see the inside, especially the principal's office. That's where I spent most of my time.
Maynard.
I was in there more time than any other kid in the whole history of the school. The principal said he was going to charge me rent.
Maynard.
I even used to have my meals sent in. Like, Hattie's cribs?
Right. Yeah, it sure is a nice little town you boys live in. Sure was a break for me to get stationed here.
Hello, boys. Good morning, Quentin.
Good morning, Helen.
I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Oh, waiting for such a charming lady is a pleasure indeed. Well, good day, gentlemen. Oh, and Dobie. Would you try to remember that 2,400 hours is like 12 midnight?
Oh, sure, Sarge.
My dear.
Hey, Dobe.
Maynard, the Endicott building?
Yeah,
I
Dobe.
heard
With
about
the big
it.
iron
I heard
ball,
about
you know,
that.
the big wall.
Dobie wants a gal who's creamy. Dobie wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
No, good. Please don't make me go in there. I'll be like miserable.
Maynard, you'll have fun.
Are you joshing, man? There's girls there. How can I have fun?
Maynard, when are you going to get over this ridiculous fear of girls?
I keep trying, good buddy, but every time I get near one chick, I get like around 100 goosebumps.
Maynard.
When I get near two chicks, I get like around 200 goosebumps. When there's three of them, I get like around 300 goosebumps.
Yeah.
And when there's more than three, all them little goosebumps kind of melt into one huge, big, fat, giant-sized blob.
Maynard.
Did you ever see a 150-pound goosebump in an army uniform?
Maynard, enough!
With the beard?
Like, you're not really that scared of girls. It's all in your mind. Here, I'll prove it to you. Hi, Angela.
Oh, hi, Dobie. My, don't you look handsome in your soldier suit.
Thanks, Angela. But if you want to meet a really handsome soldier, come with me. Angela, may I have the honor to present my dear friend, Maynard G.
Dobie! Dobie!
When my friend Maynard G. Krebs was little, he was afraid of little girls. But now that he's big, I'm happy to report that he's no longer afraid. Of little girls, that is. But when it comes to big girls...
Like girls, like hell.
Maynard, come down from there. Maynard. Maynard, I'm shocked. Here we are in this beautiful new servicemen's recreation center, and you hide in a tree. Do you know all the trouble Mrs. Osborne went to fix this place up?
Mrs. Chatsworth Osborne Sr.?
Yes.
Mrs. Chatsworth Osborne Sr. with all that money, riches, wealth, and loot?
Yes.
Mrs. Chatsworth Osborne Sr. with the big white hills and 58 rooms and 48 baths?
And the 15-foot brick wall with broken glass embedded on the top. I bet you're dancing, you nasty boys.
Well, you see, Miss...
No, I don't see it all. This fabulous recreation center has been donated by a very generous, very high-minded, very patriotic citizen.
You, Mrs. Osborne?
Who else? For the purpose of giving you servicemen home on furlough a place to enjoy yourselves. And by George, you're going to enjoy yourselves. Now, you will find girls, you will dance, joy will reign supreme, you will be divinely happy. You understand?
Yes, sir. Come on, Maynard, you heard what Mrs. Osborne said.
Oh, please, Dobe, don't make me do it.
Listen to me, Maynard. Don't you want to meet girls and talk to them and hold hands and go dancing with them like other fellas do?
Sure I do, Dobe. More than anything in this whole world. I got feelings. I'm like a human person.
Fine human person, Maynard.
Like true, but chicks don't dig me.
Well, you're not giving them a chance.
It don't do no good. When I give them a chance, they steal a popcorn in the movies, they draw funny pictures of me in their notebooks, and they giggle about me in the powder room.
Maynard.
See, sometimes they kick me.
Hey, Maynard, it's all in your mind.
I don't think so, Dobe. My shins are all over black and blue.
Look, no, I mean, it's your attitude, this awful fear that's causing all the trouble. And we're going to do something about it right now.
We're going to kick them back.
No. You're going to have a pleasant, normal, no panic conversation with a girl.
Oh, no. Please, Dobe. I don't know what to say to a chick. Oh, no.
You worry too much about it. Just talk about whatever comes into your head. The weather, hobbies, movies, what you like to do, like that.
What I like to do?
Right.
I'd like to cut out of here.
You're a soldier now, an adult. Stop acting like a child. The time has come for you to face up to life. And girls are a part of the life you've got to face up to. Now, come on. It's for your own good. Angela, this is the soldier I was telling you about.
Oh, he came out of the tree.
Oh, the sight of you, my dear. It's enough to unhinge the strongest of us.
You're sweet.
Thank you. And speaking of sweet soldiers, may I present Maynard G. Krebs?
Pleased to meet you, Maynard.
Angela, Maynard has something to say to you. Don't you, Maynard?
How's the weather?
Well...
Got any hobbies? Seen any movies lately?
Yes,
What do you like to do?
Sometimes I
like you said, Dope, can I cut out now?
Goodness, has he always been so afraid of girls?
Yeah, let me put it to you this way. He spends so much time in trees that every winter he tries to fly south. But he's my friend, and I'm going to cure him once and for all. Maynard. Maynard!
Like help!
Poor Maynard, he needs help.
Like help!
Boy, does he need help.
Like me? Need help? Nah.
What do you mean, nah?
Just nah. Like no, like negative, like like nah.
Maynard, stop avoiding the issue. You need help because you're scared to death of girls.
Good buddy, you're not being fair. Sure, I'm scared of some girls, I admit it.
Not all girls?
Of course not. I'm a sensitive human person who's got likes and dislikes just like any other sensitive human person. You see,
Maynard.
I have what you call cultural taste. And like when the right girl comes along, I won't even be scared of her a little.
And you're not scared of all girls?
Like indubitably not.
I see. How about that girl, the one on the right in the pink dress, maybe?
She's like too short.
And the girl she's talking to?
She's like too tall.
Yeah. How about that girl, Maynard?
I don't like big blondes.
Yeah, how about this girl coming in here?
The same goes for brunettes.
How about that girl on the right, that one, the blue dress?
Like ditto for redheads.
Maynard, forgive me for saying this,
You're
but,
right, good buddy.
Yeah.
I'm scared
of all girls. Boy, you really need help.
The only way to help Maynard, boy, is to rearrange his whole head.
Dad, Maynard's problem's nothing to poke fun at.
You're right. I'm sorry.
He's a fine, sensitive human being. But when he gets near a girl, he's afraid of his own shadow.
No offense, son, but you can't blame him. After all, it's a pretty scary shadow.
It's absolutely essential that he learn to get along with girls so he can lead a normal life. I mean, sooner or later, he'll have to meet the right girl and get married and settle down and have children of his own.
True.
No, stop that, both of you. Maynard's not so bad. Why, to hear you talk, you'd think he was hopeless, bumbling, impossible, washed out.
You rang?
Like, hi, Mrs. G, Mr. G, Dobe G. That's you, good buddy. Dobe
I know, Maynard, I know.
Maynard, dear, we were just talking about what a hit you made with all the girls at the party last night.
They took one look at me and ran off like bunnies.
Oh, no, dear, that was your imagination. They liked you.
Like a case of chicken pox.
Maynard.
I'm a poor schnook who's, like, worse off than anybody.
Maynard.
I'm like doom, doom, doom.
He's right. He's a poor schnook who's worse off than anybody.
Hey, Gillis, what's the scam? Hey, Dobie, did you go over the hill?
Funny, very funny.
Ma says I should get a dozen eggs and charge 'em. I don't want some bubble gum and, what new movie magazines you got?
Here's your eggs, no movie magazines, no bubble gum unless you pay for them, and goodbye, Jenny.
Gee, what a grouch. I didn't even get a kiss from the general. Dobie!
Jenny!
Here's your movie magazine, and go home.
Give me the one with Gregory Peck on the cover and I won't come back for a week.
Out.
Toss in Marlon Brando and I'll spend all next month with my grandmother in Cleveland.
You present a powerful temptation, gal, but out.
Hey, they'll let you keep the beard. Let me feel it.
Like, hi, Jenny. Like, bye, Jenny.
Oh, what a power I've got. I drive men mad with my exotic feminine charm. Hey, give me Marilyn Monroe.
Somebody ought to get her with a paddle.
What a pity. The poor boy doesn't have an ounce of confidence.
Yeah, I wish there was somebody who could help him.
Somebody like a good psychologist, maybe.
Somebody like a good barber, maybe.
No, sir, somebody like us. We're his friends, aren't we?
We certainly are.
Don't agree so quick.
No, Herbert, shame on you. You know you love Maynard.
Love Maynard?
Love him.
I guess I must, or I'd have barred the door on him years ago.
There, you see?
Sure, Dad, we all love him. Now, let's figure out some way to help him.
Right. Now, I always say that the best way to solve a problem is to start at the beginning, so let's start at the beginning with Maynard. First, let's ask ourselves, what is wrong with Maynard? And I withdraw the question.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with him that a girl couldn't cure. If a girl just showed one spark of interest in him, he'd be a new man altogether.
Boy, you seem to think that the answer to everything is girls.
Well, aren't they? I mean, take you. Where would you have been if you hadn't found Mom?
Oh, like lost, boy, lost. Before I met your mother, there I was, a poor, pitiful, pathetic bachelor with my pockets full of money, no obligations, no responsibilities, footloose and fancy-free. Kind of breaks your heart, don't it?
Now, Herbert.
And then along came your mother and rescued me from this horrible condition. And look at me today. Obligations, responsibilities, bills, mortgages, sore backs, sore feet.
Sore head.
Oh, come on, Winnie. You know I'm only kidding.
Well, I know, but does Dobie, and as a matter of fact, I'm not so sure myself.
Winnie, I wouldn't give up 1 minute of our life together for anything in the world. Oh, it's great not to have any responsibilities. Just think of yourselves. It's great when you're young, that is. But when the years start catching up with you, it can be the most horrible thing that could happen to a man. Living by himself and for himself and, worst of all, son, with himself. Remember that, Dobe.
I know it, Dad, and that's all the more reason why we've got to help Maynard find a girl.
Well, forgive me, dear, but where will we find such a girl?
Well, forgive me, dear, but no place. Unless, of course, you bribe them or beat them over the head with a blunt instrument, and you can't go around beating girls over the Hey, why not? Oh, I don't mean beat them over the head. I mean bribe them. You know, con a couple of girls into making a play for Maynard. And I know one we can bribe with a couple of sticks of bubble gum and a picture of Gregory Peck.
Why, we couldn't do a thing like that.
Sure we could.
Well, sure we could.
Why, we'd be low-down, unprincipled, dishonest sneaks. And why are we just standing here? We gotta find them.
Help a fine, sensitive human being? Oh, I would consider it a great honor. Who is he?
My friend Maynard. At the party, he was the one up in the tree.
Thanks, pal. Thanks a bunch.
Oh, please, Angela, please, just play up to him for a while. Make him think he's got at least a little sex appeal.
Surely you jest.
It'd build up his confidence terrifically if he thought girls liked him.
How can girls like him? They can't even tell what he is.
You can help to save him from a lonely, miserable life.
No.
You can make a man out of a pitiable, pathetic creature.
Absolutely not.
Imagine how it'd strengthen his ego if you showed an interest in him, Angela. For
Positively.
You are the loveliest of women.
No. Oh?
He'd be sitting on top of the world if he thought he'd impressed you, the fairest of them all.
Well.
No, you're right. I shouldn't ask help for this unfortunate soul from someone as beautiful and exquisite and desirable as you.
When do I start? When do I start?
As soon as I can tie him down long enough so you can start.
Mr. Gillis, you give me a month's supply of movie magazines and bubble gum, he's gonna think he's Montgomery Clift.
Let's not overdo it, huh? We just want him to feel that he ain't completely repulsive to girls.
Throw in a month's supply of ice cream and it'll be bye-bye Cary Grant, hi-ho Maynard.
Maybe I should have gotten an older girl.
Don't worry your little pointed head, Mr. Gillis. I'm extremely mature for my age. My mother's psychiatrist says so.
Let's put it this way. You're the best I could do for bubble gum and a movie magazine.
You never regret this high-level decision, Mr. Gillis. I mean, when it comes to getting crushes, I get them in big gobs. Man, I was gone on Tony Perkins for a rootin' tootin' 6 months. Wowee. For Rock Hudson, I was off my rocker for a year and a half.
After all that, how you gonna settle for a couple of hours with Maynard G. Krebs?
I'll keep my eyes shut.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Oh, who knows? Maybe it's the best thing that could happen to the beard that walks.
I may be young, but I got a heart that's lousy with love.
Hey, you're like beautiful. You're like the most beautifulest thing I ever saw. Oh, I like dig dogs, little dog, and they dig me better than chicks do. I mean, I'm gonna spend my whole life with dogs and cats and animals and birds, because me and chicks, we just don't hit it off. I wish we did, because I'd like to get me a girl like everybody else and be an ordinary human fella. But girls take one look at me and all they say is,
Hello there.
like, bye.
Oh, yes. You're a friend of Dobie.
Dobie who?
Dobie Gillis.
Dobie Gillis who?
At the party last night. I noticed you right away. Oh, how I noticed you. Say, Dollface, did anyone ever call you cute?
Me?
Well, you're so different, so unusual.
That they've called me.
You don't already go steady with some lucky girl, do you? I'll scratch her eyes out.
Me go steady? I have trouble getting a girl across the street with me.
Oh, you must be kidding. You're a very attractive man. That beard, those eyebrows. It's fascinating the way they go up and down. Oh, it's magic.
No, it's a twitch.
Fascinating.
I get it when I'm jumpy.
Divine.
When I'm like real jumpy, my left kneecap rattles.
Oh, I never met a man like you, so fascinating and mysterious.
You get that message from twitching eyebrows?
A woman has an instinct for these things. My name is Angela Crittenden. Would you like my phone number?
My name is Maynard G. Krebs, and like, no thanks, I already got a phone number.
Aren't you adorable? Oh, yes. Well, here's my number. Now be sure to call me real soon.
Me?
Oh, you are nervous, aren't you?
Is my left kneecap rattling?
No, you just ate my phone number.
Thanks, it was like delicious.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Here. Now call me. No, here. Now call me, you hear?
Me?
Oh, I insist. I could look at those eyebrows forever. Twitch them again, would you?
Oh.
Just once, please.
Oh.
For Angela. Please. Pretty please.
Oh, very well.
Once more. Oh, I better go. That's all a girl can take in one day. Bye-bye. Fascinating eyebrows.
Fascinating eyebrows. Hey, dog.
Pretty good, huh? I mean, Maynard's self-confidence was increasing by leaps and bounds, but he still had a large leap and a big bound to go.
Lover, come back. You're the wildest thing I've laid eyes on since I gave up Marlon Brando.
What are you, some kind of a nut?
Only over you, Dreamboat.
Where's Mr. Gillis?
Out on an errand. I'm keeping an eye on the store.
I go.
I'm also keeping an eye on you.
Like,
Cool cat, has anybody ever told you you're cute?
Until today, I was funny looking.
You're adorable.
That's what they keep telling me every hour on the hour.
You've got that certain fascination, know what I mean? You're too much.
You wouldn't kid me, would you, kid?
I'm wig for you, baby.
You sure you ain't mixing me up with some kind of rich millionaire or millionaire or movie star or Oriental prince or like that?
Nope. I know you are Maynard G. Krebs, soldier, hip character, and all man.
Then it must be true. It's these eyebrows.
You got an itch or something, lover boy?
Kind of gets you, don't it?
Sure does, right here.
That's all you're gonna get today, because it's like awful rich and a person can't take too much in one helping.
Oh, baby.
Beat it, huh, kid? I got no time for you now.
Now, hold on, Waldo.
Give me a ring in a couple of years, and maybe I'll give you a tumble then. Like, get the away, child. Go, small girl. It's like very unhelpful to stand there eating your heart out.
Holy moly.
Have you ever seen anyone as confident with girls as Maynard? Everything about him just oozed assurance. His eyes, his smile, his manner. And if you peeked under his beard, I bet his chin looked confident, too. But the acid test was still ahead. He behaved fine when the girls were rigged. But what would happen when he ran into girls who weren't coached to treat him like he was Elvis Presley? That's what I had to find out. I had to get him to another dance at the Servicemen's Recreation Center. But I just couldn't go up and ask him. I had to kind of trick him into it. Subtle like. Very, very subtle.
Hey, Doe.
Oh, hi, Maynard. Hi. Well, what do you feel like doing tonight, Maynard?
I don't know, Doe, but what do you feel like doing?
I don't know, Maynard. What do you feel like doing?
I don't know, Doe. What do you feel like doing?
I don't know, Maynard. What do you feel like doing?
I don't know, Doe.
Hey, I just thought of something. Do you feel like going down to Pete's Pancake Palace and watching the guy in the window flip pancakes?
I don't care, Doe. Do you feel like it?
Sure.
Okay.
Or would you rather go down to the railroad yards and watch him fill the coal cars?
I don't care, Doe. Do you feel like it?
Sure.
Okay.
Or would you rather go down to the stockyards and watch him dip some sheep?
I don't care, Doe. Whatever you feel like.
Oh, I don't care, Maynard. Whatever you feel like.
I don't care, Doe. Whatever you feel like.
Okay. Oh, hey, I just got another idea. Do you feel like...
Doe, if it's all the same to you, I'd like to go to the dance at the Servicemen's Recreation Center.
So the battle lines were drawn. It was Maynard G. Krebs versus the women of the world. And may the better contestant emerge victorious.
You nasty children! Don't you know you're here to enjoy yourselves? Now go on, let revelry continue unabated. Dance, you pigs, dance!
Remember, Maynard, that There's nothing to be afraid of, and I'm here with you.
You're all heart, sir.
You gotta expect you'll be a little bashful at first. Just take it easy.
Like right. Hey, where you been all my life, baby?
Maynard!
Hey, these eyebrows really get you, huh, Dollface? Like it's buttering hot, huh?
Maynard!
Oh, you're next, lamb chop.
Maynard, what are you doing?
Let me go or I'll scream!
Well, that's what these eyebrows affect them. They like scream with like the like. Oh, don't be jealous, Dope. I'll give it back to you as soon as I'm through.
Stop it, I say. Mrs. Chatsworth Osborne Sr. is here.
No offense, Mrs. Osborne, honey, but you have to find your own fella. I'm spoken for.
Well, I never.
Well, I never did either, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now, if you excuse me, I got some girls waiting.
One moment.
Oh, very well. One moment, but only one. One dance to bring the roses back to those faded cheeks. Come, my old tiger, while still there is time.
Maynard, I can't believe it. Have you flipped your wig or what?
It's these eyebrows.
Maynard.
And the sex appeal.
Hey, Maynard.
I'm like appealing to women of all ages.
Hey, Maynard, there's something you ought to know.
Just one moment, Dope. Girls! That'll like have to hold you for a while. What are you saying, Dope?
I don't quite know how to tell you this, Maynard, but the eyebrows, the sex appeal, the fascinating personality...
I don't really have them.
Right, you don't really... You know?
Like, sure, I figured it out. Them chicks didn't go for me because all of a sudden I turned into a handsome Casablanca.
Maynard, that's Casanova, and I only did it to help you get some confidence with girls.
Dope, you're my good buddy, my best buddy, and I appreciate it from the heart. But I don't want it, the confidence that is. I hopped around here like a Rupert Von Lover just to show you oughtn't to play tricks like that on me. I mean, I ought to flunk in confidence like I do in all them other courses.
But Maynard, you've got to learn how to get along with girls.
Like you do?
Like I do.
No offense, Dope, but I ain't you. I'm a different person. I got a beard, see? And I also got certain ideas about girls.
Like what?
Like I don't want any.
Well, why not? They're sweet and soft and friendly.
They're also tidy, respectable, and determined. And I don't think they're very happy when all a guy likes to do is hack around, sit in the floor, and listen to jazz, and grow a beard.
Maynard, is a beard more important to you than a girl?
Well, it's not a question of a beard. It's a question of I'm an individual human person. And if all them other individual human persons want to shave off their beards, get trapped by some chick and get married, and live in a split-level house with a washer and automatic dryer, and a PTA, and the bridge club 2 nights a week, and trouble with the sprinkling systems, well, that's their business. Me, it ain't for. I'm a protest cat.
Well, you've got a point, Maynard, but what are you really protesting against?
I don't know, Dope, but no chick's gonna rush me into anything till I find out. You don't have to do that anymore. The game's over.
Oh, I did that because I wanted to. I admire a fellow who sticks up for what he believes. He's a man. Maynard, now you really appeal to me.
Dope, like hell.
The world is full of good-looking, soft-headed fellows who let girls push them around. But an individual like you, Maynard, it's a challenge.
Stand back, girls. Stand back, I say.
Gee, like, thanks, Mrs. O. You're like a real human being. Save me, save me.
Bravo, Maynard, bravo! I admire your spunk, boy. My husband, heaven rest his soul, he was like you, fiery, determined, nasty. Oh, I'm telling you, breaking his spirit was a game worth the candle. You girls, don't you dismiss this ragamuffin too readily. I know he looks like a disaster area, but underneath that shabby exterior, there is an outlaw hot to be tamed.
Gee, I'm getting like all misty.
I wish I were 30. 20 years younger.
We better hurry, Maynard. The bus for camp leaves in 20 minutes.
Don't fight it, Heartless. It's bigger than both of us.
Zoom off, but when I got no bubblegum or free magazine.
Oh, who needs them? Sure, they brought me to make a play for you. But now you're starting to look different to me. I mean, Buster, you got something inside.
Huh?
In a couple of years, when I fill out and turn into a voluptuous, fascinating woman, you better call me, see?
Me?
You mad, 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 impetuous fool.
No offense, Maynard. eyebrow twitching's a waste of time.
Don't be too sure, good buddy. Don't be too sure.
Dobie. Once a gal who's creamy, Dobie. Once a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
As you fellows may know, I've been writing a play, after duty hours, of course. It's my pleasure to announce that I've finally written finale to Act 6.
Bully, Lieutenant. When do you think you'll finish her?
It is finished, Private Krebs, and the CO has just given me the green light to produce it here on the Post as part of our cultural enlargement program. Now, at the risk of sounding immodest, I'll say I think I've done a searching job here on the minds and hearts of soldiers in one of the darkest hours of all American military history.
Hey, it's about KP.
No, it's about Korea. And there are 10 juicy roles here for 10 talented soldiers. I'll come right out with it. This is the squad that can do the job. I'm looking for volunteers. Tryouts are tonight in the day room. Those of you who want to be in my play, raise your hand. I see. All right, men, let's put it another way. By an odd coincidence, tomorrow is the day for posting the new work assignments. Those of you who are not by that time cast in my play may indicate to the first sergeant your preferences among the following details. KP, coal yard, gravel detail, and the rock quarry. Now, let me check just once again, gentlemen. Are there any volunteers for the cast of my play?
Dobie.
Okay, so I'm in a lousy second lieutenant's play. I'm in a second lieutenant's lousy play. No harm in volunteering for that, you say? And I agree. After all, I was earmarked for garbage detail. And besides, all of us actors got a 2-day pass. But the pass gave me time to think. And something inside kept warning me. Listen, Dad, Maynard and me gotta get out of doing this play.
What are you talking about? You got the main part.
I know. The lieutenant cast us according to height.
I was bending down tying my shoelace, so I got to like the 10th main part.
Good for you, Maynard, dear.
I don't have many lines, but I twitch a lot.
Maynard, please. Why, this battle-torn major, this war hero, why, this is a part you can get your teeth into, son.
He gets his teeth knocked out in the second act.
All right, Maynard.
That's how he gets back to the States.
All right, Maynard.
To get new teeth.
Now listen to your role, Dad, will you? Why, this is a great part. This part can bring the whole play to life.
No, it's too much. It's a job for somebody who loves it. Somebody with real actor's blood in his veins.
Actor's blood in their veins? Oh. Dobie Gillis, who do you think wrote, produced, directed, and starred in the Retail Grocer's Follies of 1911, huh?
You, Dad?
In 1911? No, it was not me, and no wonder you flunked in math. It was your grandfather, Hubert X. Gillis. And who was the smash hit of the Central High School Relief Fund benefit performance of 1938, playing the feature role in She Was Poor, But She Was Honest, huh?
You, Dad?
No, it was not me. It was your wonderful, talented mother, that's who. But you ask, who was on for 15 solid minutes of the old soft shoe at the Bison Convention Frolics of 1949, huh?
What your father is saying, dear, is that you really ought to give it a try. Oh, not that you get a Hollywood contract out of it or anything, but it's a marvelous experience, you know. Acting demands something of you, makes you grow and mature.
That's what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay. I'll give it a try.
Oh, good for you, boy. Make us proud of you, huh?
I can see it out in front of the Post Theater now, Dobe. A Company presents Dobie Gillis and Manny G. Krebs in The Gory Battle of Dead Man's Gulch.
We better go up in my room and start memorizing.
Oh, you were wonderful, Winnie. You talked him right into it, and who knows, the kid may be a smash.
Why not? Happens over and over again. Families go on for generation after generation, and then all of a sudden, up pops a real talent.
Look, this is the curtain line, the climax of the scene. Now, let me hear you read that line again, Krebs. Remember, you're exhausted, both wounded, out of ammo. The enemy barrage is stopped. And now you hear their blood-curdling screams as they charge the bunker on foot. There's no escape.
Major, it does not look good.
No, Krebs. More feeling, more action, more passion. Roll your eyes.
Like this, sir?
Splendid. All right, go on with the scene.
They're coming, Major, they're coming. Let's, cut out of here.
You're overacting. All right, men. That'll be enough for now. Let's take a break until the dress rehearsal tonight at 1900 hours.
Sorry, Lieutenant, I can't make it till 7.
That's 1900 hours, Krebs. All right, dismiss. See you all then. Gillis, Krebs. I may have seemed harsh and demanding during rehearsals, but men, it's paid off. You're deeper, more mature than I dreamed you could be. You've become men in your roles. You're poised, confident.
Thank you, sir.
You're like a real human being.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now get out of those costumes and go on over to the PX and treat yourselves. On me.
Oh, you don't have to do
Cool
that.
it, though. You heard what the man said. Let's eat.
Maynard, do you see what I see?
Yeah, good buddy. Donuts and hot dogs and root beer and ice cream.
No, Maynard. That girl.
Hey, Dobe, take some advice from your good buddy Manny G. Krebs and stick with donuts and hot dogs and root beer and ice cream and stay away from that chick. You know what happens when you got mixed up with chicks?
I know what used to happen, but this is the new Dobie Gillis. Mature, confident, poised. Watch. Excuse me, miss. Please don't think me forward, but may I say you're beautiful? Not only are you beautiful, you are charming, you are gracious, you are elegant, you are pink and round and creamy.
Hey, Dobe.
Huh?
You know what else she is?
What?
Death.
Nonsense. Just shy, young, demure, trembling on the brink of life.
Okay, what'll it be?
Irwin, a soda for the young lady.
No, Irwin.
Eat, my dear. Let this be the first of many meals we have together. Lunches, dinners, tea and graham crackers.
Would you be so kind as to tell this person behind me I do not come here to exchange banter with fresh, underaged enlisted men?
What have you got against enlisted men? And anyhow, how do you know I'm an enlisted man? You haven't even looked at me.
Irwin, please tell this person I have a radar for enlisted men, and I can tell them a mile away, and that is exactly where I would like this one, a mile away, or else I shall be forced to call an MP.
Good buddy?
Yeah. Irwin, would you tell the young lady not to wait? I had to leave suddenly. Good thinking. Reading between the lines, I guess you'd have to say she was a little cool. This kind of thing happens in the course of every man's life. And I did the only thing a man can do under the circumstances. I went back to my career and tore into my work with renewed vigor.
They're coming, Major, they're coming. Let's cut out of here.
Dress rehearsal was a smash. If I do say so, the final scene where I get the Congressional Medal of Honor and say goodbye to loyal Sergeant Mooney was very moving.
I agree with the President of the USA, Major. You're a real hero, and good luck on your war bond tour. I'll miss you.
Oh, tut-tut, loyal Sergeant Mooney. We've known each other too long for that. A simple will do.
Well, goodbye and good luck, sir. A simple...
I think we've got a hit on our hands. And you, Gillis, tonight you became an actor.
Oh, it was nothing.
Tonight you lived the part. You were Major Gates.
Was I like Sergeant Mooney?
kind of like Sergeant Mooney, but not much.
Well, gentlemen, as a reward for your fine work, you are all off duty until we open tomorrow night.
Come on, Major, it's like late.
Come on, where, Maynard?
Man, I'm like in carbohydrate shock. I need like an infusion of ice cream, and the PX closes in 15 minutes.
All right, but wait a minute. We haven't got time to change.
So who like noticed? And it's like better this way.
What do you mean?
It'll be the first time I ever outranked that soda jerk.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it, though. You don't want to, like, overdress.
Maynard, do you know what the lieutenant's going to do if we're a hit? He's going to book us in other camps. You know what that means in terms of good evening, my dear.
Hello.
You look ravishing tonight.
Why, thank you. Do I know you, Major?
Sure. Remember I was in here this morning. Do you know me? No, little girl, I don't believe you do. I'm Major William Gates, and this is my loyal aide.
Private Maynard G. Krebs.
Sergeant Maynard G. Krebs Mooney.
How do you do? I'm Dorrit McCurdy.
Delighted.
You're new here, aren't you?
You could say that, yes.
It's like a one-night stand.
The sergeant means our assignment here will be brief.
Yeah. Brief, but like exciting.
I should think exciting. My goodness, you've been everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Europe, Alaska, Korea, all those medals, my goodness. And you, too.
Yeah, I've been like with them all the way through it.
What's that one?
The 1957 Scout Jamboree.
Maynard.
That's right in the ground in our ponchos.
He's a great kidder.
He's cute for an enlisted man.
Yes. Miss McCurdy.
Dory.
I wonder, could we impose on your good nature to show us some little place where we could relax, have a bite, talk?
Why, I'd be delighted, Major. The officers' club is open now.
Oh, no. I never go to officers' clubs. The sergeant and I are inseparable.
We're like in this together.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We could go to my house. I'll make coffee.
Oh, perfect.
2 months behind enemy lines, and you finally got your whole platoon back safely?
Oh, it was nothing, really. 6 of us could still walk.
My warrior. And what about you, Sergeant? Did you bag a few?
No, ma'am, but I like annoyed a lot of them.
Well, where did all this take place?
Oh, it was long ago and half a world away. Where was it, Sergeant?
Act 4, scene.
Maynard.
It was like right about here.
On the polar ice cap?
Oh, well, we were like real lost there for a while.
Enough. Let's not talk about it anymore.
My poor man. You rest there, and I'll go get us something to eat.
Don't be away long, Dory.
I'll be right back.
Every moment will seem like an eternity.
We're like starved. Come on, Major, now's our chance to cut out.
What's wrong with you? You want to leave before you eat?
Dobe, I'm like nervous.
Relax.
And my mascara like itches, and I think my beard's gonna fall off.
Look, Maynard, that's your own beard. I'm the one with the phone.
I don't like it. What's in it for us? You gonna marry this chick and go through life with a fake mustache?
Look, we're on a secret mission, right? So we disappear, and I'll write to her from distant places. Now relax and enjoy yourself. After all, if she likes me better as an officer, who am I to disillusion her?
Well, here I am. I hope you like instant coffee. It's the only kind I know how to make.
Oh, you shouldn't have fussed, my dear. We're used to doing without.
So I see. Sergeant, would you like something a little more substantial, like a cold chicken and a couple pounds of potato salad?
Well, if you don't like throw it away.
It's in the refrigerator.
Stay where you are, miss. I got it on my chicken radar screen already.
Is he always so hungry?
Since I've known him.
You two are very close, aren't you?
Yes. I wouldn't be here without him.
Now, try to forget. All that pain and danger is behind you, and you're with me now.
Yes. I guess this is it. This is what we're all fighting for.
Now, rest those dear, tired eyes.
Oh, you are a thoughtful child.
Child? I'm 21.
21. A wonderful age.
Now, it surely can't be that long ago. You can remember.
I wish I could.
Let me try.
Dory, who's that with you?
A friend, Dad. Major Gates, this is my father, Colonel McCurdy.
Nice to meet you, sir.
What's that?
How do you do, sir?
Oh, how do you do?
The Major is new on the post, too, Dad. Dad is the head of the new leadership school.
Oh, boy. I mean, congratulations.
Thanks. What are you doing here?
Oh, just sitting on the sofa.
No, I mean on the post, your assignment.
Oh, that. Well, it's confidential.
Confidential?
Yes.
You some kind of a G2 sneak?
Oh, no, sir.
The Major is a hero, Dad. He was in Korea.
Yeah.
Korea, huh?
Yes.
Well, I suppose somebody had to go over there. Wasn't like Europe, though.
Oh, no, sir. No.
My dad was an infantry commander in World War II.
Oh, good for you, sir.
It was soldier's duty, Major.
Yes.
A man could take some pride. Now they're making a teacher out of me. Faculty seminars, examinations for numbskulls who've never heard a shot fired in anger, correcting papers, handing out diplomas. Terrible thing to do to a fighting man.
Oh, you're right, sir.
The Major knows, Dad. He was a fighting man. Tell him, Major.
Oh, we won't bore you with that, sir. You probably have a lot of themes to correct.
It's all right, it's true. I've got that blasted graduation ceremony tomorrow.
Yeah, that.
I want to talk with you about Korea sometime, son. How long are you here?
Oh, just a few more days, I'm afraid, but I'll keep in touch.
Do that, Major.
Man, that's like a real splendid refrigerator you got out there. I can't tell you how much
Sergeant Mooney, this is my father, Colonel McCurdy.
Like my Colonel. I mean, like hi, Colonel.
I do.
The sergeant was with the Major all through everything, Dad, behind the lines, in the hospital.
Indeed.
But it's a long, dull play, or story.
You're so modest. The Major said that if it hadn't been for the sergeant, he would never have lived to get the Medal of Honor.
Colonel, you're busy, and we've got to go.
Yeah, man, I like helicab.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Something's been bothering me ever since I met you, and now I know what it is.
We didn't mean any harm.
A prank, sir, a boyish prank.
Why didn't I think of this before? That graduation tomorrow. I've been looking everywhere, and now you bob up right in my doorstep. Major, you're my speaker. You're going to give the inspirational talk to those 400 officers.
Oh, no.
Like thanks, but like no thanks.
That's perfect, Major, darling. You give the speech tomorrow afternoon, then come here for dinner, and we'll go to the new play at the New Post Theater tomorrow evening.
Oh, no, please, no.
Don't go to that play, miss. It's like a real dog, and I ought to know.
Do whatever you want with your evening, Major. But you'll be here tomorrow at 1400 hours.
He can't make it till 2.
1400 hours is 2, Sergeant. It'll be easy, Major. Just tell them the simple truth. It'll be a speech they'll never forget.
Neither will I. There's no point in denying it. I was in trouble. So I had to keep saying to myself, don't panic. Keep your head. Look on the bright side. And that's where Maynard, the eternal optimist, was of tremendous help.
Dobe, you're in big trouble.
Yes, Maynard, I'm very alert. I've sensed that. In 1 hour, I've got to give a speech about Korea to 400 officers. And I don't know anything about Korea except what's in the lieutenant's play. And the lieutenant doesn't know anything about Korea either. So they'll find me out.
We're like doomed.
Please, Maynard. So they find me out. What can they do? They'll court-martial me.
Like right.
They'll give me a dishonorable discharge.
Like right.
20 years in Alcatraz.
Like at least.
On the other hand, if I call in sick, they get a substitute. I go to the hospital, and they find out I'm not only not a major, but I haven't even got a mustache.
Oh, poor Dobe.
Maynard, what if I just disappear? Walk out the gate and disappear.
Good thinking.
No, it's cowardly. It's unfair to Colonel McCurdy and Dory. Besides, they'd catch me, hunt me down like a dog, shoot me for desertion.
Poor Dobe. You're like doomed.
Maynard, I've got it. I just won't show up. I'll just disappear into the ranks, an anonymous soldier. After all, she's never seen my real face.
Good buddy, she's seen mine.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's not an easy one to like forget.
It's a desperate situation.
Oh, the worst hasn't happened yet.
It could possibly happen worse than what's already happened.
Does that answer your question?
Where is he? Where is Sir Lawrence Oliver? Oh, there he is, that great actor.
Dad, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Another play, another opening night, another Gillis, and you ask me what I'm doing here?
Dad, I wish you hadn't come.
Opening night jitters, huh? Well, it happens to the greatest of us. But you'll be okay the minute that first wave of applause washes across those footlights.
Dad, save yourself. Go home.
And who's going to be leading that applause? Your mother and father. Who else? We get tickets front and center.
Listen, there's something I got to tell you. I'm in trouble. Big trouble.
Big trouble, huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's have it, the whole story.
Well...
What's her name?
I told him everything. And there's one thing I have to say for my father. When you're in a jam, he backs you up. All things considered, he was very understanding.
You stupid stoop! Do you realize you can be court-martialed for this? Dishonorably discharged, thrown in jail? Come on, we're going to march right over to this Colonel, what's his name?
McCurdy.
Right, we're going over to this Colonel McCurdy, and we're going to tell him the whole story. Maybe when he realizes that you're just a vagabond lover boy, vagabond, that means bum, son. He'll give you a light sentence, and... Colonel McCurdy?
Colonel McCurdy.
Hard Rock McCurdy, big beetle-browed guy, gravel voice, infantry, Normandy invasion. Oh, what a small world. Hard Rock McCurdy.
You know him, Dad?
Oh, you're very quick, son. Know him? I knew him when he was only a captain. He used to be my CO. I was his first sergeant.
Hey, that's great. He wouldn't put your son in jail, would he? Or your son's good buddy?
Look, this part you play, this wounded war hero, see? Yeah. It might work.
What might work?
Never mind. Now, I'm going over and pay a call on McCurdy, a personal call, for old time's sake. In the meantime, you put on your wardrobe for the play tonight, because you're either going to be wearing it on that stage or on the train to Alcatraz.
But Dad's upstairs getting dressed for the school graduation.
Just tell him it's Sergeant Gillis, my dear. He'll remember.
Well, if you wait here.
Who's there? Is that the Major?
It's a Sergeant Gillis, Dad.
Sergeant Gillis. Well, who the devil is that?
Sergeant Gillis, sir. Oh, Colonel, you're looking fit, sir. Just as trim as you did the day of the final review of the 511th in Paris.
Gillis. First Sergeant Gillis.
Right. I was on a visit down here, heard you were running the school, and I just had to come over and say hello.
Oh, very thoughtful, Gillis. Dorrit, call BOQ and see if you can get hold of Major Gates. Sorry to seem inhospitable, Gillis, but I'm late for an important ceremony.
The graduation?
Well, how'd you know?
No, Colonel. We have all followed your career. Understand you're doing brilliant work here, too.
I try, whatever they stick me with.
Well, as a matter of fact, I dropped by to give you a friendly warning, if I may.
Warning?
Yes, about your speaker, Major Gates.
Well, he's late. If he doesn't show, I'll have him cashiered.
Do you know the Major?
Know the Major, my dear. I practically raised him.
What's this all about, Gillis? Speak up.
Colonel, as you probably know, I am Army, right up to here. I've known the Major going and coming. I knew him before he became a hero, and I've known him ever since.
Was he in your outfit?
Well, you might say so. Now, I don't want to criticize.
He's such a lovely man.
Oh, you can say that again, my dear, and supremely courageous. Foolhardy, one might say.
Sergeant, get to the point.
Well, it's the personal appearances, Colonel, the speeches.
Yes?
As you know, the Major has this wound up here, see?
Everybody worth a darn has one.
Right. But when the Major gets excited or overheated, this polyesterine patch in his head.
That's plastic.
Right, plastic. Latest thing. Well, when he gets overheated, this plastic patch in his head softens up and creates pressures on various cerebral areas.
What are you trying to say, Sergeant?
He becomes a wild man, sir. Oh, the nicest fellow you would want to meet at cool temperatures. But when he becomes overheated, there's no telling what he may do.
He got dizzy here last night.
You're lucky. He might have become violent. Sometimes he throws everybody out of the hall.
He seemed so gentle, almost like a little boy.
Why, one time he tore down a whole YMCA, a small one in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
This is a serious accusation, Gillis.
Would I come all the way down here to foul up your graduation just for laughs?
Well, I can't take the chance. Maybe we can find a substitute. How about that sergeant who was with him, Dorrit?
Sergeant Mooney?
Sergeant Mooney, a guy with a little beard? You, there is a real coop. Let me tell you something, Colonel.
Goodbye and good luck, sir. And a simple...
Excuse me, please. I beg your pardon. Dobie, darling. Oh, you were mother.
Oh, thanks. Oh, you were great, son. Oh, you proved yourself a great actor in the great Gillis tradition.
Oh, thanks, Dad. And how about...
She wasn't out there. And you'll have no more trouble from little Dorrit. Oh, boy, this afternoon I gave the finest performance and the toughest role I ever played, convincing McCurdy that he should excuse you from that graduation speech.
Oh, Dad, you're the greatest guy. How can I ever repay you?
Very easy, boy. Just get down in the dressing room and get out of that goofy mustache and get back to being Private Dobie Gillis.
Okay, Dad.
And we'll see you in the PX, darling.
Hurry up, boy.
So long, folks.
Hey, Doe.
Yeah?
Like trouble.
Like where?
Like there.
Congratulations on your performance, Private Gillis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You know Colonel McCurdy, of course.
Oh, yes, sir.
Excellent performance, Gillis. Very impressive. For the second time in 2 days.
I don't suppose I can apologize, sir.
That won't be necessary. I'm humane and not so gullible as you and that father of yours might suppose.
It's all my fault, sir.
I got to remembering, Private. It all seemed quite plausible until I recalled the record of First Sergeant Gillis. Snow Job Gillis, as he was known throughout the division. Snow Job's morning reports were some of the richest, most imaginative fiction I've read since Alice in Wonderland. You've obviously inherited his talent. Lieutenant, I'm grateful I've avoided embarrassment throughout the command. I leave the punishment of this man up to you.
Private Gillis, in hut, left, hit. For conduct unbecoming a soldier and member of my acting troupe, I hereby strip you of your privileges, weekend pass, and mustache.
folks, the most stirring words in the English language are, the show must go on. The Army has a couple of interesting words, too. Court-martial. And that's exactly what Maynard and I got for our unhappy fling at impersonation. But all in all, the lieutenant wasn't too hard on us after we promised to limit our acting to the A Company stage. And the show did go on.
Of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore deny thy father and refuse thy name?
Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I will no longer be a Capulet.
Dobie, wants a gal who's creamy. Dobie, wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
Sarge, I want to go home. Hey, chicken. 2 years of mud and blood and guns. I tell you, I'm homesick.
Remember, Jenkins, you're a soldier.
I'm just a kid. A kid with a gun a million miles from home. Well, I got a right to live!
Sorry, kid. Sorry I had to do that.
It's okay, Sarge. I had it coming.
I know it's tough, kid. We have to hang on. Hang on until victory is ours. And we can wake up in our little old room back home. Smelling Mom's apple pie baking in the kitchen. Go out to the ballpark and root for our favorite team. And walk down Main Street. That little old girl who's waiting there for us.
That poor kid, I feel for him, Dobe.
Yeah, swell picture.
No, I mean, I feel like the same way.
Yeah, sure.
Here I am, a kid with a gun, a million miles from home.
Maynard, we're 2 hours from home on the bus.
I know, and that's where I want to be. Home. Smelling Mom's apple pie bacon in the kitchen, rooting for my favorite team, walking down Main Street with a little old gal who's waiting for me there.
Maynard, you never eat apple pie, you never go to a ball game, and you haven't got a little old gal waiting for you.
And I never will unless I get home. I gotta get home, Dobe. I just gotta.
Dobie, Dobie,
Who'd ever expect Maynard G. Krebs to get homesick? I mean, you should see his home. But he's really got it bad, so I've been trying to help him. First, I suggested he get it out of his system by writing home and telling his nearest and dearest how much he misses him. So he did.
Dear bongo drums, I miss you like crazy, like love, like Maynard. P.S. Regards to my folks.
Then I thought maybe it'd help if Maynard's folks wrote him a nice, cheerful letter.
Dear Maynard, your mother and I feel very cheerful these days. We often talk about you and where you are. And the more we talk, the more cheerful we feel. In fact, we're deliriously happy. Love, Dad. P.S. Have you considered re-enlisting?
But nothing seemed to help. Maynard says he's just got to get home for a while. So he asked our CO, Lieutenant Merriweather, for a 3-day pass. I must say the lieutenant was very sympathetic and understanding.
No pass!
Like, please?
Private Krebs, I'm talking to you like a father.
My father doesn't talk to me like that. He always hollers.
Like a brother, then.
I'm an only child.
I said like a brother!
My folks wanted a big family, but then they had me.
Krebs?
My father figured he better quit while he was behind.
Krebs, I'll say it for the last time. No pass!
Just a little 3-day pass.
No pass.
I'll be back before you even know I'm gone.
No pass.
You even miss me.
Krebs, I'd be delighted to miss you. Missing you is my dearest aim in life. But as for your pass, my reply is a positive, definite, unequivocal, irrevocable, immutable, total, and final negative!
Sir, all I want is a simple answer. Yes or no?
Out. Out!
Sir. Corporal Mallory's ready to take off. Will you sign his pass?
Gladly. How does he spell his name?
K-R-E-B-S. Maynard G.
The United States Army is a fine democratic institution. And when a soldier like Maynard G. Krebs feels that he has justice on his side, he can appeal any decision that he considers unfair. He can appeal to a superior officer, and if that doesn't satisfy him, he can go to a still more superior officer. And if that doesn't satisfy him, he can go to an even still more superior officer. My friend Maynard G. Krebs, being a man of direct action, decided to eliminate the middleman. He went right to the top.
No pass.
I tell you, I've had it, Dobe. I'm gonna bust out.
That's foolish talk, Maynard.
Honest, Dobe, one of these days I'm just gonna take off and go under the hill.
Maynard, it's called going over the hill, and you'll do no such thing.
But I miss home so much.
Maynard, calm down and eat your stew.
Even the stew makes me homesick.
The stew makes you homesick?
Yeah.
Maynard, this is terrible stew. I can hardly eat it.
I know. It's just like my mom used to make.
You mean you called me long distance all the way from camp person to person and reversed the charges to tell me a stupid thing like this?
Look, Maynard's my good buddy, Dad. He's so homesick that I'm afraid he's going to do something desperate. I got to help him. I just can't let him down.
Well, I can, and I certainly am not going to drive any 100 miles just to bring him his bongo drums.
And his hi-fi and his recorder and maybe 50 jazz albums. That's all I'm asking.
Dobie, have you been parading around in the sun without a hat?
I'm fine, Dad, but Maynard isn't. Why, he's so homesick he could go AWOL any minute.
This'll be a break for our side.
Dad, you were a soldier. Weren't you ever homesick?
Sure I was, lots of times. Oh, there I was, a kid with a gun, 1,000,000 miles from home. And I could picture your mother a-waiting for me in our little old house with the white picket fence. And I could smell those good old apple pies of bacon in the oven.
Dad, there's no picket fence. You lived over the store, and you never eat apple pie.
Stop quibbling.
But you do know how it is, don't you, Dad?
This makes me a bigger nut than he is, but okay, I'll do it.
Thanks, Dad. Goodbye.
Bye, son. That was my boy Dobie. He's in the Army.
Well, you must be very proud of him. Now, about this insurance policy.
You don't have to sell me a bill of goods daily. I'm hooked.
Well, good for you. Not so fast, sir.
Well, just show me where to sign.
But before we can write a policy like this, we require physical examination.
Physical exam? I'm hard as a rock.
Well, I'm sure you are, sir. And just as soon as our doctor gets a chance...
Doctors? Who needs a doctor? Why, I'm strong as a bull.
It's just a routine examination, Mr. Gillis. And after all, at your time of life...
My time of life? What are you talking... Listen, boy. Hey, watch this. How do you like them apples, huh? Well, let's just forget about this physical examination stuff and sign the policy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gillis, but our company insists on a physical examination.
I just told you, I'm strong as a bull, sound as a dollar, hard as a rock.
Hello, dear. Hello, Mr. Daly.
Hello, Miss Gillis.
Is the aspirin order filled yet?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, good, because I want to put in this pound of butter.
The insurance doctor will be here Tuesday, 3 o'clock.
Oh, she is such a busybody.
2001, 10%. 10,002, 10,003, 10,000.
Maynard, I know I'll be sorry I asked, but what are you doing with all those spuds?
Occupational therapy.
Occupational therapy?
To keep my mind off being homesick.
I was right. I am sorry I asked.
It was the lieutenant's idea. He's all heart, ain't he?
Maynard, forget the potatoes. Look. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dobie.
Mr.
Hi,
Key, what are you
Maynard.
doing here?
Well, I just happened to be in the neighborhood. Thought I'd drop in.
To bring you a few things from your room back home, Maynard. Like wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Like wow, 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 and I must be out of my cotton picking mind.
Right in my room, my very own old room, just like I left it.
Yeah, it was easier than trying to find anything.
Dad, you're a great human being.
Oh, hello, little bongo drums. Like, hi, little old guitar. Oh, greeting souvenir of happy hours at Patsy's Pizzeria.
Maynard, don't be maudlin.
Hey, and here's my little old bed. It's gonna be kind of hard to sleep in. I'll keep, like, falling out.
Maynard, I put it that way just so I could get it down here.
Home. Home at last.
How do you feel, good buddy?
Like, awful.
What's wrong? Did Dad forget something?
No, your dad's a great human being. He brought me everything I own, everything that spells home and happy hearts to me.
So?
So now I'm more homesick than I was before.
Ever read a book called Moby Dick? It's about this kooky sea captain named Ahab who goes wigged for a big white whale. He just can't relax till he harpoons it. Well, that's how it is with Maynard about getting a pass home. He'll stop at nothing. He'll do anything for it. Even work.
Be it ever so like humble, there's no place like home.
Private Krebs.
Sir?
Whose car is this you're washing?
Why, yours, sir.
Who told you to wash it?
Nobody, sir.
You suddenly felt an irresistible urge to wash my car.
Yes, sir, and that's not all, sir. I mowed your lawn and beat your rugs and painted your picket fence and shampooed your Cocker Spaniel.
Krebs, what's your game?
Game, sir?
What are you after?
Oh, nothing, sir. I'm just doing it out of the kindness of my little kind heart.
I see.
Now can I have a pass to go home?
No.
Just a little old 3-day pass?
No.
You mean after I washed your dirty old car and mowed your ratty lawn and beat your shabby rugs and painted your rotten picket fence and shampooed your crummy Cocker Spaniel, you still won't give me a pass?
Krebs, did you ever hear of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution?
Nope.
It abolished slavery.
That's like a good amendment.
There's a good military regulation, too, Krebs. It expressly forbids any officer to use any enlisted man as his personal servant.
I like that one, too.
If the post commander heard about this, I could be busted to acting corporal. They could ship me back to ROTC.
Just for having a clean Cocker Spaniel?
Oh, Krebs, out of my sight. Private Krebs?
Sir?
Come back here. You must want to get home pretty badly.
Oh, I do, sir. I mean, here I am, a kid with a gun, 1,000,000 miles from home.
Exactly what does going home mean to you?
Waking up to the smell of Mom's apple pie, of bacon in the oven, going out to the ballpark to root for my favorite team, walking down Main Street with a little old gal who's waiting for me there.
Krebs, I'm a fool to do it, but you've got your pass, son.
I have? Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir.
Krebs, I want no unmanly display of gratitude.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
There is a bus leaving the post in exactly 10 minutes. If you are not on it, I can guarantee that I will suddenly have a return of sanity and revoke your pass.
Yes, sir. Like, bless you, sir.
You have exactly 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Krebs? Krebs?
On your feet, Maynard. Let's go, Maynard. Hello, buddy, you did it. You flipped and went over the hill. You deserted.
All right, roll call. Line up for roll call. Come on the double. Move it out. Let's go.
Don't worry, good buddy. Pal of my cradle days. I'll protect you from shame and disgrace. I'll cover for you. Why, they won't even know you're away.
All right, James, Colma, Isaacs, Brown, Gillis.
Here.
Duffy, Shaw, Bauer, Johansson, Krebs.
Like here, your sergeantship. Like ouch.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Attaboy, Krebs, you're beginning to look like a soldier. 1, 2, 1.
Maynard's got to come back. He's just got to, that's all. I'm just not healthy enough to have a buddy who's AWOL. But who's going to talk sense to him? Make him see the error of his ways. There's only one man in this outfit who can do it. Somehow I've got to get a pass. Get off the post. Find Maynard and save him before it's too late.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Gillis.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Your father must be in pretty bad shape if they sent for you.
Oh, he's sinking fast, sir.
Do the doctors know what's wrong?
Yeah, it's a mysterious ailment, unknown to medical science.
Well, of course you can have emergency leave. At a time like this, your place is at his bedside.
Oh, thank you, sir.
If there's anything I can do, Gillis.
Oh, you've done all you can, sir. Now it's up to me. Boy, is it up to me.
I want to place a long-distance call to the Red Cross office. Right.
Red Cross office, Mr. Mims speaking.
Mr. Mims, this is Lieutenant Merriweather. I've just given an emergency pass to one of my boys, Private Dobie Gillis. His father is desperately ill. I wonder if you'd have one of your people look in on him.
Certainly, Lieutenant. I'll do it myself.
Thank you, Mr. Mims. I'm sure Private Gillis will appreciate it.
You rang?
For 3 days you've been sitting here beating those drums.
Yeah.
Enough. I've had it. I don't want to hear another sound.
Yes, sir.
Not one single solitary peep.
Yes, sir, Mr. G. But drums don't peep. Piccolo's peep and oboes peep, but not drums. Drums go. See what I mean? Yes.
Mrs. Gillis?
Yes?
I'm Dr. Cole from the Longevity Life Insurance.
Oh, yes, please come in. You're supposed to examine my husband so that he can get that policy.
Just a routine checkup.
Well, won't you please sit down? I'll go and fetch him in a minute.
Right.
Would you like some coffee?
No thanks.
Stop.
I'm just like pretending.
Well, just like stop pretending, too.
My golly.
Like golly, why don't you go home, Maynard?
Sir?
Look, you came home from camp because you were homesick, didn't you? Well, go home.
I did, but my folks threw me out. Then I went to the good old high school and the good old sweet shop and the good old record store, and they all threw me out. And now you're trying to throw me out. Gee, Mr. G, it's just like the good old days.
Can't you find some other place in town that you like that won't throw you out?
No place I like your friendly little cheerful grocery store.
Oh, very touching.
I wouldn't trade it for a marble palace.
Well, I would.
Let the rest of the world call it seedy and shabby and run down
The
and
rest
beat up.
of what were?
But not I. The moment I walk in the door, I can hear the cans on the shelf and the vegetables in the bin and the meat in the rack all saying, "Welcome home, Maynard."
Maynard, I'm sure that when you walk in the door, you can hear the cans on the shelves and the vegetables in the bin and the meat on the rack saying, "Welcome home, Maynard." But speaking for myself...
Maynard.
Hi, Dope. Dope, what are you doing home?
Maynard, be a man. Come back to camp and face the music.
What music?
Throw yourself on their mercy, good buddy. They'll understand and be compassionate.
Who will?
The judges at the court-martial.
Who's going to be court-martialed?
Maynard is for going over the hill.
Oh, wait a minute.
Maynard's AWOL?
Forgive him, Dad. He didn't know what he was doing.
Now, just a darn
You mean
minute.
on top of cans and vegetables and all that jazz, I've been harboring a deserter?
I'm not a deserter. The lieutenant gave me a pass.
Well, that's what he told me, Dope.
Oh, I'm sure he believes it himself. We'll make a point of it at the trial.
Dear, could you come upstairs? That man that you're expecting is here. Dobie, dear, you're back.
Yeah, Mom.
Oh, my great big soldier man. Have you you been getting enough to eat?
Oh, sure, Mom.
Why, you're as thin as a rail.
I'm fine, Mom.
Don't tell me you're fine. You're a human skeleton.
Please, Mom, I've gained 4 pounds.
Are you going to believe those silly scales or what's in a mother's heart? I'm going right upstairs and cook you a good nourishing meal. And you come to Herbert. That man is waiting for you.
Okay, Winnie, okay. And Maynard, you pay attention to Dobie. He's in your corner.
That's right, Maynard. I'll stick through thick and thin.
Dobie, listen.
I'll be a character witness in court. I'll support your plea for a reduction of sentence. I'll visit the stockade every week and bring you hot soup.
Yeah, and you can have your choice of any kind in the store.
Coming, Mother.
See, Maynard, we're all on your side.
Dobe, you're a good buddy, and your father's a great American. I hate to throw a monkey wrench when everybody's being so swell to me, but I really have a pass.
Oh,
See?
Maynard. Maynard, you forged this pass, didn't you?
No.
You can level with me. I understand.
Well, I wish you'd stop trying to understand.
Excuse me, I'm from the Red Cross.
Maynard, I'm your best friend in the whole world.
Sure, thinking I'd do a ratty thing like that.
Now,
I'm
look,
looking for a Mr. Herbert Gillis.
He's upstairs. Now, look, Maynard, you couldn't help yourself. There you were.
Mr. Gillis is still among us.
Yeah, sure. Don't look at me like that, Maynard. I'm your good buddy.
Some good buddy calling me a deserter and a forger. Me, Maynard G. Krebs, boy patriot.
Look, I didn't say that.
Well, I'm glad to know what you think of me, ex-good buddy.
Maynard, look. That's not what I said.
Like goodbye forever, or even longer.
Maynard!
Would it be possible for me to see him?
See who?
Herbert Gillis.
You want to see my dad?
Oh, poor lad, I can imagine what you're going through.
Yeah. Who shall I say is calling?
Well, my name is Mims. I'm from the Red Cross.
Red Cross? Well, Dad usually contributes through his
Oh, I'm
Legion
not
post.
here for a contribution.
Oh?
At a time like this, heaven forbid. Tell me, how is your father?
Oh, just fine,
Then there is hope that he may yet recover?
Recover?
From the
what?
grave illness which caused you to apply for emergency leave. In such situations, the Army always asks us to investigate.
Oh, of course.
It's just a routine checkup to make sure the emergency is genuine.
It's genuine, all right. I mean, if there ever was a genuine emergency, this is it.
That's it, Mr. Gillis.
Well, am I all right, Doc?
Considering your age, guess you're not too decrepit.
Decrepit, I'm sturdy as an ox.
Middle-aged ox.
All right, do I get the insurance or don't I?
Well, you're not the most hopeless risk I've ever seen.
I just told you I'm sturdy as an
I
ox.
could just get washed out.
Oh, yeah. Well, right through here. That's it. Sturdy as an ox.
Dad, lie down on the couch. Don't ask any questions, Dad. Just lie down.
What's gotten into you,
There's
boy?
a man here from the Red Cross.
Well, I always give through my Legion
No,
post.
Dad. He's here to find out if you're as sick as I said you were.
You told him I was sick?
To get emergency leave. I had to get home to talk to Maynard.
I know, but I just...
Don't argue. You want to be bringing hot soup to both of us? Come in, Mr. Mims.
Who's there, son?
It's Mr. Mims from the Red Cross, Dad.
Oh? Where is he?
Right here, Mr. Gillis. And may I say at this grave moment that my heart goes out to you. To both of you.
Oh, Lord bless you, sir.
Fight hard, Mr. Gillis. And remember, you've got everything to live for.
We better not tax his strength any further, Mr. Mims.
Oh, yes, of course. Goodbye, Mr. Gillis. I'll be going now.
Bye, Mrs. Gillis. I'll be going now. Mr. Gill... What's the matter, Mr. Gillis?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine.
You are not.
Are you ill, Mr. Gillis?
No, I'm sturdy as an ox.
He is not.
Poor man, he's delirious.
How do you do? I'm Dr. Cole.
This is the insurance doctor, and if he thinks I'm sick, my policy goes right out the window.
But if Mr. Mims thinks you're well, your son goes into the stockade.
I don't know what to... Mr. Gillis, what's going on? A few moments ago, you were perfectly fine.
He was not.
Are you questioning my professional judgment?
No, I mean, yes. I insist on calling in a specialist.
Look, I'm a busy
I'll
man.
have him here in a jiffy.
Where can you find a specialist just like that?
Where? Oh, well, he's an old family friend, and he's the kind of specialist who specializes in special cases like this. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Come in, Dr. Distelfink. Mr. Mims, Dr. Cole, and the patient.
Oh, this is a very sick man.
Here's Here's the patient, Doctor.
Oh, him too, yeah.
Herbert, dear, what did Doctor call? Why, who are you? Why, Herbert, what are you lying down for?
It's all right, Mom.
Why, Maynard, what are you doing in that outlandish outfit?
Mom, this is Dr. Distelfink of Vienna.
Oh, Dobie, stop teasing your mother. I can recognize Maynard G. Krebs even in that silly old beard.
Here's my insurance.
My aching back.
Operator, connect me with the military police.
Did I say something wrong? Nothing bad is going to happen to my boy.
Of course not, Mom. After all, what can happen to me in prison?
She's such a busybody.
Poor fellas.
Yeah.
That could be us.
Like 20 years.
We're lucky we've got such a kind, warm-hearted, understanding CO.
Lieutenant Merriweather is like all heart.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's all heart.
Creamy Dobie. Once a gal who's creamy Dobie. Wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
Hello.
You were saying?
Whatever it was, I've forgotten. For the sight of you, my dear, drives everything before it like leaves before an autumn wind.
What are you, some kind of a nut?
That's it, a nut. For one look at you and all sanity is gone. Command me, I am yours.
Soldier, I'll give you a choice. Shape up and state your business or I call the MPs.
Oh, I like that. You're angry. There's fire in your eyes.
Look, I mean it. This is the Army, Private, not a tunnel of love. Now, what do you want here?
What I want is a kind word from you, my pretty.
Soldier.
Okay. Private Gillis reporting as ordered by Lieutenant Merriweather. Just a minute.
Now what?
I don't get it. Look at you, so young, so fair, so beautiful. How can you be so GI?
I'm a soldier, hadn't you noticed?
A soldier, yes, but first a woman.
Nobody. A woman, yes, but first a soldier. First, last, and always a soldier. My father was a soldier. His father was a soldier. His father was a soldier. And his father was a soldier.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't have had the rotten luck to be born a girl, I'd be in West Point today, instead of making small talk with a puny, pasty-faced civilian like you.
Oh, now, just a minute. Just a darn minute. It so happens I'm not a civilian.
Oh, yes, you are. That uniform doesn't make you a soldier. What makes a soldier is military tradition, background, family. Soldier's blood flowing in your veins generation after generation.
Well, for your information, miss, my father was in the big one, WW2, with the very distinguished record.
Really?
Really.
Did he win any medals?
Let me put it this way. If he had a chest as wide as your desk, which incidentally it almost is, there wouldn't be room to hang all the medals.
Gee, this is wonderful because
And
I'll
if he had
get
a
to meet
chest
him
as
next
wide
Saturday.
as this whole building, you're going to meet my father next Saturday?
Well, sure, haven't you heard? Next Saturday's Father and Sunday here at the camp. All the fathers are coming up to visit.
Dobie. Dobie.
That was a big lie I told that pretty whack about my father being a war hero and winning all those medals. That was a plain, downright lie. But I ask you to believe something. I'm not a liar. I'm an honest man. It's only that I get carried away sometimes, like when I see a pretty girl. Then somehow I start lying, and one lie leads to another, and then another, and then another, and Boy, I sure tell a lot of lies for an honest man.
Ah, Gillis, I've got a job for you. I guess you know next Saturday is Father and Son Day.
So I hear.
I want you to go to your company and tell them I want a 100% turnout. Every father in the outfit present and accounted for. And that means yourself, too, of course.
Mine, sir? You want my father here?
What a day I've planned. Luncheon, softball game, three-legged race, and then a big community sing.
Yeah, but sir...
Get cracking, Gillis, and be sure everybody has his father here. Dismissed!
Yes, sir, my father can't make it.
And why, pray tell, should your father be among the missing?
That's it, sir. That's it. He's missing.
Oh, you poor thing.
What are you saying, Private Turner?
Sir, his father was in the big one, WW2. I guess he won just about every decoration there was. Didn't he, Private Gillis?
Well, not everyone.
You mean he's missing in action?
I'm afraid so, sir.
Gillis, son, I'm not the kind of man to take excuses. But in this case, I'm going to make an exception if he's missing in action.
Yeah, but sir, my father is
dead. Of course he isn't, Gillis. You just hang on to that idea. Somewhere, somehow, your father's trying to get back to you.
Yeah, but
where there's life, there's hope, Gillis. And Gillis, I want you to be there at Father and Son Day, even if your father can't.
All right, so I told a rotten lie. I mean, it was unforgivable telling Marcia my poor father was missing in action when all the time he was peacefully, quietly taking care of his peaceful, quiet grocery store.
Not tomorrow. I want this cash register fixed today. What kind of service is this anyway? I know it's 25 years old, but why isn't it working? I'm 45. I'm still working. Now I want it fixed today. Now.
My poor, quiet, peaceful father. And I had to go tell a rotten lie about him. Why? Because I'm a rotten liar. You want another reason? I'll show you.
Poor baby. Poor darling.
Yeah, now the other side.
Of course, my dear. Dobie, wouldn't it help to talk about it? About your poor father missing in action?
Marcia, I've asked you not to mention it. It's just too painful.
Of course, Dobie. Forgive me.
Mm-hmm. Now, both at once.
Yes, dear.
Yes.
Like, hi, Dobe. Like, hi, girl. What's the matter, Dobe? Don't you feel well?
Oh, hi, Maynard. Marcia, I'd like you to meet my good friend Maynard G. Krebs, Private Turner.
Like, hi. Hey, Dobe, heard from your father lately?
And you call yourself a friend of Dobie's? How can you be so unfeeling speaking about a gruesome thing like that?
Like Dobie's father?
Yes.
Gruesome?
Well, what would you call it?
Gruesome.
Don't you think an apology's in order?
You're like right, girl. Dobe, I'm sorry about your father.
Thanks, Maynard. Haven't you got someplace to go?
Like where?
Well, why don't you go play on the rifle range?
Oh, I can't. I'm confined to barracks.
Maynard, if you're confined to barracks, what are you doing out here?
Oh, yeah, good thinking.
Yeah. Good night.
Hey, Dobe, you know how come I'm confined to barracks?
No, Maynard.
Because my rifle was dirty.
Swell. Good night, Maynard.
Would you like to know how I got my rifle dirty?
No, Maynard.
Would you?
All right.
Hey, you're all heart, girl.
Thank you.
Well, good night.
Hey, how did you get your rifle dirty?
Believe me, Marcia, you're gonna regret this.
My rifle? I got it dirty when I was digging in the ground.
Good night, Maynard.
Just a minute. Digging for what?
Worms.
You mean like fishing worms?
Yeah.
Maynard, where were you going fishing? There's no water for 100 miles.
Right. That's why I wasn't going fishing.
I warned you.
What were the worms for?
The little birds in the nest in the barracks.
Let me see if I can get this straight.
Oh, what a dreamer.
There's a nest of little birds and you dug up worms so you could feed them, right?
Right.
Well, that's very sweet, Maynard, but the mother bird always feeds the little ones.
Oh, I don't think so, girl. They're in my foot locker.
Maynard, you can't keep birds in your foot locker.
Why not? I took the cat out.
Any further questions? No, Dobie. Okay. Good night, Maynard.
Good night, Dobe. Hey, I like this girl. She's more intelligent than most of your girls, but then who isn't?
Good night, Maynard.
Hey, how did she know about the tough luck with your father?
Maynard, good night, good night. Will you go back to the barracks?
It's all right, Maynard. You stay. I have to go back to the whack area anyway.
Must you?
I'm afraid it's time.
Well, I'll walk you back.
Thank you, Dobie, but you better help your friend. He needs it more than I do. Good night, Dobie.
Good night, Marcia. Wonderful girl.
And smart, too. Hey, Dobe, how did she know your father was mean and rotten?
Maynard.
No offense.
No offense.
Hey, is your father coming to the Father and Son Day Saturday?
No.
Neither is mine. I called him and asked him, and you know what he said?
What?
He cried. He always cries when I talk to him. Hey, Doe, did you ever see a grown man cry? It's spooky. Sometimes when he sees me, he gets like goosebumps all over. Once he swelled up so big, they had to cut him out of his pants. Sometimes his skin twitches like when a horse is trying to get rid of flies. And once my mother left us both home alone together, and he curled up in a little ball and whimpered till she got home. Enough?
Good thinking.
Yeah. Hey, Dope, how come your father's not coming?
I didn't ask him.
How come?
I didn't want Marcia to meet him.
Good thinking.
No, Maynard, you don't understand. I told Marcia that my father was missing in action.
Dope, how can such big black lies come out of such little white teeth?
Maynard, no. I don't know, Maynard, honest, I don't. I don't mean to lie, but I just get carried away.
And man, do you get carried away. Look, Dope, I don't know how you're going to get out of this one, but one thing's for sure, you better not be at that Father and Son Day celebration.
I have to. Lieutenant Merriweather said so.
Ooh, you're like doomed.
Why? I'll just sit in the background and be perfectly quiet.
You, Dope? Come on, good buddy. This is your old friend, Maynard G. Krebs you're talking to. I've been listening to you tell lies on every occasion since we've been little tiny babies. Why, the first word you ever said was a lie. You looked up at your mother and said, Daddy. And if you go to that Father and Son Day celebration, you're not going to stay in the background. You're going to be right up in front taking bows. And you're not going to be quiet. You're going to make a speech. A nice, big, fat speech full of nice, big, fat lies.
Maynard, I promise you I won't make a speech.
You won't?
You have my solemn oath.
You promise?
I promise.
Dobe?
Yeah?
You'll make a speech.
Really, Ethel? That's funny. I don't think Herbert even knows about it. I just can't understand it. Well, there's probably some simple explanation. Wonderful talking to you, Ethel. Bye. That was Ethel Krebs, Maynard's mother.
Oh, that poor woman.
Herbert, did Dobie call you or write to you in the last few days?
Not that I know of.
That's strange.
What's so strange about it? Yesterday was payday. Wait till he runs out of money. Say, like, tomorrow? He'll call, boy, will he call.
No, dear, that's not what I mean. Ethel says that Maynard called his father a few days ago and invited him up to the army camp Saturday. They're having a Father and Son Day. And you say Dobie didn't call you?
No.
Well, he probably will, dear.
When? It's 4:30 p.m. Friday afternoon. He's going to call at this hour so I can be up there at camp tomorrow morning?
Well, it probably slipped his mind. You know how boys are.
He is not a boy. He is a soldier in the United States Army, and it did not slip his mind.
Are you suggesting that Dobie deliberately failed to invite you up for Father and Son Day?
Suggesting? I am telling you without fear of contradiction. I don't blame him. What does he want me around for?
And why, pray not?
Because I am a loudmouth and a blowhard, and every time I get around a bunch of GIs, I start telling them about the good old days when I was a first sergeant, WW2, the big one, you know, with the good conduct medal. Oh, I don't blame him for being ashamed of me.
Well, you ought to be ashamed. That's who ought to be ashamed. Talking like that about your son, who loves you and is proud of you and holds his head high and tells the entire world that his father is Herbert T. Gillis.
He says that? Dobie says that?
Herbert T. Gillis, you have a very short memory. Don't you remember the day he left for the Army, standing right here in this very store, saying out loud and clear, Mom, Dad, you may be dull, ordinary people, but you are my parents who gave me birth and raised me to manhood. And no matter how high or how far I go, I will never forget my humble origins.
He's all heart, that boy.
And so is his father.
Well, his mother ain't exactly a wicked old witch either. Oh, dear.
You're a fine man, Herbert.
And you were a fine woman, Winnie.
And we have a fine son.
Who's so ashamed of his father that he doesn't even invite him up for Father and Son Day. Oh, Winnie, I know I haven't been the best father in the world, and I've made mistakes, but gosh, I love that boy, and I did the best I could for him. And now that I'm old and gray and creaky in the joints, he's going to throw me out like an old bone. I asked you, is that fair?
Now, Herbert, stop that. We just agreed 1 minute ago that Dobie's a fine boy and that he's proud to be your son.
Yes, we did agree that,
We
didn't we?
certainly did.
Then why didn't he invite me?
I bet I know why.
I'll bet I know why, because I'm a loudmouth flapjaw and he don't want me around.
No, Herbert. No, Herbert, that is not it. Think, Herbert. What day is Father and Son Day going to be? Tomorrow, Saturday, the busiest day of all the week for you in the store. Don't you see, Herbert? Dobie knew that if he called you up and asked you to come up, you wouldn't want to hurt his feelings. And so you'd shut down the store on the busiest day of all the week for you and lose all that money just so you could be with him.
Hey, I'll bet that is why, huh?
Of course.
Oh, he's all heart, that
He
boy.
certainly is.
Well, I'll tell you somebody else who's all heart. Herbert T. Gillis. Because I am going to close the store. No, I'm going to get Rexford Sly to come in and help you. And I am going up there to camp. And
Oh, what's a few paltry dollars? Oh, watch that Rexford or we'll be short a load compared to spending the day with a wonderful kid like Dobie.
I'm proud of you, Herbert.
Where are you going?
To call Dobie and tell him you're coming up.
Oh, no, you're not.
Surprise?
Yeah, I just can't wait to see his face when I show up there for Father and Son's Day.
Ooh, it's cold in here.
Please, my dear,
Oh,
be
thank
my
you.
guest. Business is a little slow. Good. Come here, Doc.
Really, sir, it's very kind of you, but I shouldn't be here.
Ridiculous, Dobie. Who has a better right? Isn't that so, sir?
Absolutely. Gillis, not only are you going to attend this luncheon, but you're going to sit at the speaker's table.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, no. I insist.
Honest, sir, I don't deserve it.
You do, too.
He do not. Gillis, you will sit at the speaker's table. That's an order.
I won't have to speak, will I?
Not if you don't want to.
He don't want to.
I sure don't.
Can I sit up with him, huh, Lieutenant?
Of course not, Krebs. You sit with your father.
He ain't here.
Didn't I tell you to call him?
I did, sir, personally.
And?
And if you were my father and I called you personally, would you be here? I like rest my case. I want to sit with my good buddy Dobie. I mean, in case he gets carried away and wants to make a speech, I could like hit him with a judo chop or something.
No, Krebs.
You ask him, Dobie.
I'd appreciate it, sir.
Of course, Gillis, if it's what you want. Fathers, sons, will you take your places, please?
Dobe, good buddy, you're not going to make a speech, are you?
Certainly not.
No matter how the lieutenant begs you, you still won't do it, will you?
Of course not.
And if the people start applauding, you still won't do it.
Absolutely not.
And if they keep applauding like real loud, you still won't do it.
Positively not.
You'll do it.
Gentlemen, your attention, please. I am Lieutenant Merriweather, Laundry and Morale Officer of A Company. I want to welcome you all to our first annual Father and Son Day. For it has been wisely said, a boy's best friend is his father. Therefore, boys and dads, look at each other. Smile at each other. Rejoice in your hearts that you have each other. And perhaps you can also find it in your hearts to spare a little pity for those who are not so fortunate.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Don't worry, Maynard.
Dobe, you're not going to make a speech, are you?
Of course not.
You will.
Seated here at this table is a soldier whose father is unable to be here today. That boy's father is unable to be here, gentlemen, because he gave his last full measure of devotion so that this nation could long endure. It grieves me to tell you, gentlemen, that that boy's father is missing in action.
Come on, Dobe, let's cut out. Let's blow this place. Shh. That's what you're going to do. Make a speech.
But I am sure, gentlemen, that if that boy's father, that missing hero, were here today, he'd be just as proud of his son as all of us are. Gentlemen, I take great pleasure in presenting Private Dobie Gillis. Private Gillis, will you stand up? Thank you, Gillis.
That's okay, Lieutenant.
It's good to have a man like you in my outfit.
Nah, your ace is in my book, Lieutenant.
Gillis, do you think you could bring yourself to tell us a little about your father?
Oh, no, sir. He can't talk about it. It's too painful. It hurts him. He gets fainting spells. Don't ask him.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, sir. He's sure.
You know, Gillis, sometimes it helps when we talk about these things instead of keeping them bottled up inside.
Oh, not with him, sir. No, sir. Every time he mentions his father's name, he just like topples over in a comma.
You Maynard, that's coma.
Yeah, that's what he topples over into, sir.
It's all right, Gillis. I understand. Now, gentlemen, if you will, another round of applause for Private Gillis, and then we will all raise our voices in a medley of patriotic airs.
Well, maybe I could bring myself to tell just a little.
Splendid, Gillis, splendid. If it gets too painful, Gillis, don't feel you have to go on.
Yes. Gentlemen, I'm here under false colors. I'm not the son of a great hero who's missing in action.
Yay, Dobie, yay, good buddy, and like, thank you.
I'm the son of a plain, ordinary man who's missing in action. For my father, Herbert T. Gillis, is a plain, ordinary man. And the story of Herbert T. Gillis is a plain, ordinary story of a plain, ordinary man serving his country. A plain, ordinary man who just happened to be a military genius with the courage of a tiger and the heart of a lion. Where does the story of Herbert T. Gillis begin? A typical American childhood, a typical American boyhood, and then Pearl Harbor, the call to arms, the training camp, the Pacific Theater, the Solomons, New Guinea, Iwo Jima, Tarawa. And then his luck ran out. He was captured. And in that Japanese prison stockade, this great fighting man attained his finest hour.
Brooklyn, how would you like to be back home eating Mom's apple pie and booing the Dodgers?
Oh, you kidding? Like, who wouldn't?
You stick with me, buddy. I'm gonna get us back into this war.
What do you mean, escape from this prison camp?
And that's just what I mean.
Boy, you gotta be out of your skull, baby. They got guards all over the place.
You forget, I know judo.
Boy, you don't?
What's that?
A big black belt.
That's right. A big black belt. And the black belt is the highest you can go in judo. I know tricks that ain't been invented yet. I know nerve centers that are unknown to medical science.
Hey, like what?
Like this.
How'd you do that?
America know-how. Come on, let's get out of this wreck. Hey, buddy, you got a match?
Yank! You die!
Come on, we're walking out of here.
Hey, wait! I'm scared.
I'm scared, too. But if we're ever going to eat taffy apples at the USO with the Andrews sisters and Francis Langford, first we got to get the bluebirds back over the white cliffs of Dover.
Proud and tall, Dad marched out of that camp, followed by his faithful buddy Brooklyn. But their troubles weren't over yet, not by a long shot.
Are you looking for somebody, sir? Who are you?
I don't know. Let's wait and find out.
But there was still an obstacle to overcome before Dad could find freedom. A great big obstacle. I don't suppose any of you here have ever heard of the bridge over the River Kwai.
You mean to say we're gonna blow up this bridge over the River Kwai?
That's exactly what we're going to do. What do you think I stole all the wire and the dynamite and this exploder right from under the nose of the Japanese High Command for?
But Hoyt, to blow up a bridge this size, you need maybe like 50,000 volts of electricity.
This looks like your mother-in-law's mustache. Come on, let's get this thing set up. This should about do it. Okay, I'll go back and connect the wires. You stay here and handle the plunger. And don't get this thing any closer or we'll go up with the bridge.
I got you.
It's a little short.
Brooklyn, the wire won't reach. You stay there with the exploder. I'll hold this wire in one hand and the wire to the bridge in the other.
Hoyt, I can't do that. That's gonna mean 50,000 volts is gonna go right through your body.
That's showbiz.
Hoyt, I can't do that. I just can't.
But Brooklyn, you gotta. For Mom's apple pie, for the right to boo the Dodgers, for a new world where all men will live in peace and harmony, and the fields will be bright with flowers, and the air will resound with the song of birds.
Hoyt, you're a grand humanitarian and a heck of a good sport.
Leave us just say, I am a plain, ordinary American. Push the plunger.
Goodbye, Herbert T. Gillis. Plain, ordinary American.
Gentlemen, is why my father, Herbert T. Gillis, a plain, ordinary man, is missing in action.
Good buddy, good, but let's get out of here while we still can.
Maynard, I can't leave. They'll be asking for autographs later.
No, Dobe, I'll visit the guardhouse as often as I can. Oh, like hi, Mr. G. I thought you were missing in action.
Maynard!
Oh, don't blow the whistle on Dobie, Mr. G. Like, please, he'll get 30 years in the guardhouse, 30 years on moldy old bread and water with little green bugs in it. Like, please, Mr. G.
Relax, Maynard. What I want to know is how did Dobie ever get himself mixed up in this wild story? You know, what a stupid question. Who's the girl?
You see?
I see.
Oh, you wouldn't squeal on Dobie, would you, Mr. G?
Maynard, you were forgetting I was a first sergeant in WW2 and happen to know a thing or two about the fine points of bull slinging myself. But this time I'm afraid the kid's outdone his old man.
What are you going to do, Mr. G?
Watch.
Dobie! Dobie, my son, it's me, your father. They found me. I'm here.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm alive, and home at last.
My son. Yeah, my dad.
Can it be true? Is it really happening?
Yeah, I think it's really happening.
After all these years, you found each other at my father and son day?
Yes, sir, Lieutenant.
Oh, for joy!
For joy.
Sir, I know you must be tired after your long and perilous journey, but would you be good enough to tell us a little about it?
With pleasure, sir.
After I blew up the bridge on the River Kwai, I was washed ashore. Plunging back into the stream, I
Oh, come on, Maynard. Have a heart.
My fingers are killing me. No, N-O negative. I said 1,000 times. That's what I meant, 1,000 times. Now go like you promised.
Is the best policy.
Dobie, once a gal who's creamy, Dobie, once a gal to call his own. Is she blonde, is she tall, is she dark, is she small, is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, she's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
Is there anything in it for me?
Yeah, one letter, and I picked it up, and I'm like guarding with my life.
Oh, thanks, Maynard.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose it, because it smells of perfume. Probably from a chick, huh?
Good, let's have it.
I didn't want to take no chances on dropping it, because I know how you flip over mail from
Yeah,
chicks.
I'm deeply grateful, Maynard. Now, give me the letter.
I mean, friendly mail helps boost the morale of us cats in the armed forces. And your morale is a big hunk of booster.
Yeah, fine. Where's the letter?
I understand my responsibility to you, a fellow soldier, so I put it away where I couldn't never lose it.
No, Maynard.
You gotta admit, when I put something away, I put it away real good.
Real good, yeah.
I mean, you're my good buddy. I wouldn't let nothing happen to something my good buddy got like his heart set. See how good I hit it?
Excellent, Maynard. Captain Kidd couldn't have done better if it was buried treasure. This is great. I wonder who it's from. It's from Zelda Gilroy.
How come old Zell keeps writing you? The way you treat her so mean and rotten, no offense.
No offense. Maynard, you know I'm not one to brag, but I can safely state that Zelda will never stop writing. She's ate for me.
Yeah?
Completely gone. But I'm going to let her dangle until I decide what to do about her. Meanwhile, she'll keep throwing herself at me and sending me presents and writing me sweet, mushy, sentimental, lovesick letters. Just listen to this. Dear Rat.
Dobie, Dobie,
This innocent-looking document's not really a letter. It's a declaration of revolution. I mean, for years, Zelda Gilroy's been madly in love with me, my devoted slave. And now, all of a sudden, this. It's scary. Dear Rat, my name is Zelda Gilroy. Remember me, you good-for-nothing bum? Zelda Gilroy, from the homemade cookies and the hand-knitted socks and the monogram scarf. Zelda Gilroy, from the empty mailbox and the stupid, trusting heart. I'm as patriotic as the next fella, and and I have no wish to be unkind to a boy in uniform. But you, Buster, are a low-down skunk.
Also a miserable scoundrel and a no-good wretch.
Rat, a bum, a skunk, a scoundrel, and a wretch. How come you bother with them?
What's the matter, kid? Don't you recognize true love when you see it?
That's love. I'd rather have my tonsils out again.
You're right, Jenny. That bounder's pushed me around long enough.
Atta girls out.
It's finished. Kaput. Ended.
Now you're talking. Yay, Gilroy!
You know what I'm gonna do when he comes crawling back to me on his knees?
Toss him on his ear.
Worse than that.
Bash him in the teeth.
Worse than that.
Wow, what?
I'm gonna take him back. Yeah.
Zell, you've been my idol ever since I moved in next door and decided you were gonna be my idol. But girl, you've gone wig. I mean wig.
Just wait, child. One of these days you'll grow up and learn to suffer.
Let me stop eating altogether and stunt my growth.
Hey, dig what's honoring us with her presence. Miss Rochelle Kinchelow.
Wah-dee-da. She stuck her nose up in the air any farther, she'd flop over backwards.
Bonjour, ma chère Zelda.
Hi, Rochelle. I didn't know you were back in town.
Oh, just passing through on my way back to the fashionable Recherche finishing school I attend in the East.
Goody.
In honor of the occasion, my family is throwing a lavish party for me on Sunday night. You will attend.
Gee, thanks, Rochelle. I'd love to.
You're not actually a member of my social set, but since we did go to school together at one time, I feel I owe it to you.
Thanks a lot.
Naturally, all the girls are expected to attend with escorts, but I expect in your case we shall have to make an exception.
Now, wait a minute.
Unless, my petite, you would like your father to bring you.
Now, hold on,
Or
Rochelle.
maybe your brother.
Kick herself.
Or I could arrange a blind date for you with one of my discarded beaux.
Now, just a minute, Rochelle. Just a darn minute. What makes you so doggone sure I can't get my own date?
Come now.
Go to yourself right now, La Bonza.
Zelda, mon enfant, perhaps you would rather come to the party alone. You're so used to it. Vraiment, mon petit chou.
Vraiment, mon petit chou yourself, sister. It just so happens I can get a date for myself.
Of course you can.
You bet I can, with an adorable, charming, devastatingly attractive fellow.
Do tell.
Yes, he'll take me to your party or anywhere else I want him to because, well, we're secretly engaged.
Oh, and what, pray tell, is the name of this si charmant garçon?
Dobie Gillis, that's what his name is, and he's crazy mad in love with me.
Oh?
Oh.
Fine. I shall look forward to meeting the lucky fellow.
Who don't?
Au revoir, ma vieille Zelda. Till Sunday night with your fiancé.
You bet. What are you looking at?
A nut. A genuine certified nut.
Now wait, Jenny.
All my life I heard about them, but this is the first time I ever had a chance to see one in the flesh. Wow.
All right. So I exaggerated a little.
Ha!
So I fibbed a trifle.
Ha!
So I lied.
That's the word.
Well, you can't blame me. That twerp Rochelle started it all, gloating and insulting me and making me feel like 2 cents. And oh, Jenny, I've done a terrible thing.
True.
And when she finds out, she'll laugh at me. She'll tell the whole town about me. I wish I were dead.
True.
There's only one thing to do. I've got to go to Rochelle and tell her the truth and throw myself on her mercy.
True. Oh, no.
In a moment of childish anger and pride, I did a terrible thing. And now I've got to go over to her house and make up for it.
Oh, no, Zell, you can't do that. She'll sneer and cackle and rub your nose in the dirt.
Brother, will she? But it's got to be done.
Zell, this is bigger than just you. I mean, what about the rest of us girls that got shortchanged in the looks department? What? You're a shining example of a girl who has made good in this world, in spite of limited physical resources. And no shape. And a face that wouldn't turn a single head in an isolated Navy base.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Don't be modest, Zell. You're our leader.
Jenny.
Mom says if you can catch a fella, then there's hope for the rest of us.
Jenny.
But don't let that Rochelle kick you when you're down. Fight back. Don't quit.
Jenny.
Quitters never win and winners never quit.
Jenny.
Remember the men.
Jenny.
Tippecanoe and Tyler.
Now cut that out.
Now, this is important. Don't let that dumb toad make a jerk out of you. Don't give up the ship. Show us dogs we can win.
Well.
Aha! You got a plan, huh? I can tell by the gleam in those beady little eyes.
Well, sort of a plan.
What? What is it? What?
It is, as you might expect, since it developed in my brain, a highly ingenious scheme.
Yes. Yeah. Yes?
Now hear this.
You speak and I hear, my leader.
What would happen if that snooty pill got her nose out of the air long enough to come over to my house and hear me get a sweet, sticky, sentimental, long-distance phone call from Dobie? She'd
positively die.
And what if she saw me get a mushy, gooey poem from him?
She'd blow her stack.
And what if she saw me get a tremendous bouquet of gorgeous flowers from him?
She'd absolutely zoom off into orbit. She'd... No offense, El, but you slipped your trolley altogether. None of these things could happen because Dobie avoids you like the measles.
You know that. And I know it. And Dobie knows it. But Rochelle?
What a scheme. There's no question about it. You're bound to be first woman president.
Yep, it's a foolproof plan. I talked to Dobie's mother a few minutes ago. I call her 20, 30 times a day. And she said Dobie's got so many demerits, he'll never get a pass this weekend.
Hey, look, Dobe, we're getting a pass for this weekend.
Impossible, Maynard. To get a pass, you've got to go a whole week with less than 15 demerits. And I've already got 18. How many have you got?
87.
87?
It was a short week. I spent 3 days in the infirmary.
Maynard.
But I'm improving. Last week I got 115.
Look, Maynard.
Want to know why the sergeant gave me 115 demerits in 1 week?
No, Maynard.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Not now, Maynard.
I was wearing clean shoes.
Maynard, some other... demerits for wearing clean shoes?
Yeah, I scrubbed them and polished them and shined them and put them on.
Uh-huh. Maynard, why would the sergeant give you demerits for wearing clean shoes?
They were his shoes. He had them around barefoot for 3 hours. Well, I'll see you later. I gotta go see the sergeant.
Yeah, fine, Maynard. Fine.
I gotta tell him we made a mistake when they put up our names on that list for weekend passes.
Oh, good thinking, Maynard. Maynard? Our names, they are on the list.
That's what I told you, remember? Good buddy. You're kind of losing your head.
Maynard, you can't tell the sergeant he made this mistake.
I can't?
You can't, because if you do, he'll tear down the notice, and we'll have to stay in camp for the weekend and do KP and clean the barracks and polish our equipment and work on garbage detail instead of going home and having a ball.
All them things happen if I tell the sergeant?
Right.
Hey, Dobe?
Yeah?
What sergeant?
You're all brain.
Please, enough of this hero worship. I've got every detail worked out on this master plan.
Holy moly. Like in a spy movie, huh? Hey, did you see that gasser where Peter Lorre gets trapped in this pyramid? 2,000...
Child's play. Child's play compared to this masterpiece. It's foolproof as long as Dobie doesn't come home.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm home.
Oh, welcome, boy. We've been waiting.
Hiya, Dad.
Why, darling, what have they been doing to you? You're so thin and pale and tired.
Mom, I've never felt better. The Army doctor said I'm in perfect physical condition.
Are you going to believe all that military red tape or what's in a mother's heart?
Oh, now, let's get one thing straight, son. You're home on furlough to have a good time, and we don't want you to feel obligated to hang around with us old folks.
Dad, I want to spend time with you.
Why, of course he does, Herbert.
Oh, sure. A little time, but he's got to have some fun. I know how it is with soldiers on furlough.
Herbert?
Well, after all, you are my parents who brought me up and cared for me, and...
You don't owe us a thing.
Herbert.
Winnie, after all, if he wants to call a girl and go dancing and have a good time,
I believe the magic words were, if he wants to call a girl.
For 18 years he hasn't paid any attention to me. He has to start now.
Trust my petite fleur that you had good and sufficient reason for sending for me. I am très busy with my preparations for the gala soiree.
I sent for you, Rochelle, because, well, I want you to hear the bad news directly from me.
Do tell.
Yes, Dobie just called from camp. He's on duty tomorrow night, and he can't get away to take me to your party.
Quelle pity. Quelle pity.
I shall miss him desperately, of course, but as we women of military heroes have declared throughout the ages, we also serve who only stand and wait.
Heretic forbid that I would appear to mistrust you, Zelle de Monargile, but I rather expected something like this would happen.
You see, he's one of their most valuable soldiers, so naturally you expected what would happen.
That Dobie Gillis would turn out to be the little fiancé who wasn't there because he isn't your fiancé at all.
He is too.
He is not.
He is too.
All right, prove it.
Prove it?
Prove it. Some sign of your engagement. A gift, a poem, a telephone call.
You were saying, my dear Rochelle? Hello. What? Long distance? Yes, put him on, please. It's Dobie calling from camp.
None of your tricks. Give me that phone. Hello? Who is this?
Miss Gilroy, I have a long-distance phone call from Miss Zelda Gilroy from Private Dobie Gillis. Miss Gilroy, is this Miss Gilroy?
It's for you.
Thank you, Rochelle, ma chère. Hello? Yes, put him on, please. Hello? Dobie, dear, is that you? Oh, it's so good to hear your voice again. Even though I talked to you only a few minutes ago when you called to tell me the terrible news that you can't get away to take me to the party thrown by my friend Rochelle, so I'll have to go alone. Because I would never go anywhere with anyone but you, Poopsie. Oh, Dobie doll, you're just awful.
Now giggle again. Loud. Louder, girl. That's it. Now bat your eyelids like he told you he's gaga over you. Now blush. Now say he tells you the most adorable things. Hi, Mrs. Kenny. Say, how's old Hatchet Face going for this?
Beautifully, just beautifully.
Flowers. Flowers for Miss Zelda Gilroy.
Flowers! My, how exciting!
Yeah, the usual from Private Dobie Gillis.
Dobie Pumpkin, your lovely flowers just arrived. But there are so many of them.
$6 a dozen. Boy, lady, you sure picked yourself a live one.
So it seems.
You told me to order a dozen, so I figured 3 dozens 3 times as good. Oh, Jenny, you are the clever one.
You shouldn't have done it. You really shouldn't have.
Don't worry, my leader. I charged him to your father. Now thank me. Real gooey.
Oh, thank you, Dobie Dumpling. You're so thoughtful and considerate and wonderful, but don't you think we've talked long enough? I mean, this long-distance call from camp must be costing a fortune. Isn't that the dreamiest? He says the music of my voice is worth more than mere money. Now stop that, Pumpkin. You're making me blush.
Okay, Zell, you better hang up now. Don't overdo it. Tell me how much you love me and kiss me goodbye, baby.
Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye till then, my tiger. Ugh, I can hardly wait. Any questions? Carnations! My great bronzed hunk of man always sends carnations on Saturday. Aren't they scrumptious? Of course, then so are the roses. He always sends those on Monday. Gracious, a poem! He always writes such divine poems, the love. Isn't he just shameless?
What's it say?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Okay, you talked me into it. Zelda, you are my angel. Zelda, you are my love. Zelda, I began to adore you the very first moment I saw you.
Saw you?
Poetic license.
Miss Dobie Gillis must be a magnificent human being.
Oh, not really magnificent. Just fine and decent and upright. Even humble, springing as he does from peasant stock. His parents run the local grocery store. But his heart is pure and his soul is good and he loves me and that's what really counts.
Very touching.
Yes, I rather liked it too.
Forgive me for doubting you, darling.
Oh, forget it. It was more fun this way, darling.
Then I'll see you at the party tomorrow night, even without your fiancé. Won't I, mon vieille?
You sure will, ma crouton.
Thank you, darling. I had a lovely time.
Likewise, I'm sure. Ta-ta.
The old dumb tour freely got taken, huh?
Like somebody hit her with a plank.
The poor thing.
Yeah, the poor thing.
My son Dobie engaged? Why, he couldn't afford to support our goldfish, let alone a wife.
It's true, Mr. Gillis. He is engaged.
You sure we're talking about the same Dobie Gillis? A nice-looking kid, not too tall, not too short, not too stout, not too bright. Winnie, this is a time for accuracy, not motherly pride.
Herbert, be quiet. Dear, I'm afraid there's some mistake. Our Dobie is not engaged.
Oh, positively not. He may not be the brightest kid in town, but he's certainly too smart to get caught in that trap.
Herbert?
Until his ready for it, of course, naturally, my dear.
Oh, this is très confusing. When I just happened to walk by and saw the sign, Gillis's Groceries, I was sure I could drop by and congratulate dear Dobie's family on his upcoming marriage.
No offense, miss, but if he told you he was engaged, it's probably because you were getting too interested in him.
Indeed.
Yeah, you know how soldiers are. Oh, I remember when I was soldiering back in WW2. That was the big war, you know. If some girl started getting too pesky with me, I used to tell her, sorry, sister, but I got a little girl waiting for me back home, so... this is a place of business, miss. No place to be discussing my son's private life with strangers.
Oh, but I'm no stranger. I've never met Dobie.
But I am a friend of Zelda Gilroy.
Zelda? Oh, my, such a sweet girl.
Yes, and a close friend of Dobie's, is she not?
Well, not exactly close.
It'll be pretty hard for them to get close. After all, when she shows up, Dobie runs like a scared rabbit.
I see.
Oh, yeah, Dobie's pretty cagey about girls. Not like his old man, present company accepted, my dear.
Actually, I wanted to invite Dobie to a party tomorrow night. A pity he's away at camp.
He's not away. He's home. The cash register is short, and if it's a party with food and soda pop and girls, where is it and when, and he automatically accepts.
Excellent. 8 o'clock at my house. Here's the address.
Dear, Dobie has a friend. I was wondering whether you...
Of course. He's invited, too. I want everybody to be in on the fun.
Well, on Dobie's behalf, I thank you, Miss Kinchelow. And I'm sure that you'll enjoy meeting Dobie.
Oh, more than you know. Oh, don't tell him that Zelda will be there.
Oh, it'll be a surprise, huh?
It certainly will.
Pretty sharp head on that girl, huh?
Too sharp. I'm not sure that Dobie ought to go.
Hey, Dad. Dad, who was that girl who just walked out? Boy, what a knockout.
Oh, she didn't look too good to me.
Maynard.
In fact, she was pretty funny looking.
Maynard.
When I see a girl like that, I laugh. Like, ha ha. But it comes out even is when girls like that see me, they laugh. Like, ha ha. Sometimes, hoo hoo. Man, we all get together, everybody's like, ha ha, and hoo hoo, and all over the place.
Maynard, are you finished?
Like, ha ha. Now I'm done.
Would you like to try a little ho-ho?
Oh.
Ho-ho. Feel better?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Dad, about that girl, was she a customer?
Well, she was shopping for you.
For me? Nah.
For him? Nah.
Maynard, you're supposed to be on my side.
Son, she wants to invite you to some kind of a swell clam bake she's giving up at her house tomorrow night.
Me?
Him?
Maynard. Rochelle Kinchelow. That's funny. I never even heard of her.
What's funny about that? I never even heard of her either.
Good thinking, Maynard. Dad, I don't get it. Why'd she invite me?
Well, I don't know. She probably saw you on the street, liked what she saw, found out your name, and invited you to the party. Let's face it, we're devilishly attractive, we Gillis men.
Yeah, Dobie is, but what other Gillis men?
Maynard. Boy, what's gotten into you? You used to be the first kid in town to latch onto an invite, and now here you are looking a gift horse in the mouth.
You're right, Dad. Sure, I'll go to that party. What can I lose?
Don't go, Dobie. Won't be no fun.
You're invited, too.
Let's get there early.
Attaboy, Maynard. We'll have a ball.
I changed my mind. I don't want to go.
Why not?
Any party that invite me for a guest isn't the kind of party I want to go to.
Hello, darlings. Hello. Bueno, cher amigos. Before long, you'll see something you never expected to see. Just wait. The real fun starts any minute. Like right now. Zelda, my dear.
Hi, Rochelle. She looks like a wonderful party.
Oh, I think you'll find it interesting. People. Come here. I want you to meet an old friend, Zelda Gilroy. When we were children, Zelda was fond of showing me up in intellectual pursuits.
Hi, kids.
Zelda is a very fortunate girl. She has a fine, handsome, gallant fiancé, don't you, Zelda?
Well, yeah, sure, Rochelle.
Unfortunately, he can't be with us tonight, but he is always with her in spirit. Isn't he, mon petit?
Well, yeah, Rochelle.
Tell us some of the wonderful things he does for you.
Look, Rochelle.
Like the flowers and the poems and those long-distance phone calls.
Look, Rochelle, I don't know what you're trying to do, but cut it out.
I'm not trying to do anything, my sweet, except to let everybody know how happy you are with your fiancé, Dobie Gillis.
Did somebody mention my name?
The long-lost fiancé.
No, there's some mistake. A fiancé. Fiancé?
Quicker, but let's grab some food and cut out.
Are you just going to stand there, Dobie? Aren't you going to greet your fiancé?
Dobie, I'm sorry.
We've been looking forward to meeting the fellow who's been sending all the flowers and the poems and making those romantic telephone calls.
Dobe, this is spooky. Let's zoom.
Well, Dobie?
Well,
Zelda?
Well...
Oh, we've had enough of this little farce. Zelda, why don't you admit you made up the whole thing about that secret engagement? You're no more his fiancé than he is.
Zelda, I'm ashamed of you.
Dobie, I'm sorry.
I'll never forgive you for this.
Please, Dobie.
I'll never forgive you for denying us all these months of happiness by insisting that our engagement be kept secret.
Dobie!
But I guess it's all my fault, my beloved. How could our love remain a secret when the light in my eyes cannot help but reveal how I feel about you, my great tawny animal?
Dobie, my angel.
Oh, I rushed you from camp the moment I was free, my beloved. How my heart cried for you. Oh, yes, why keep it hidden any longer? Let's shout it from the rooftops. Zelda Gilroy and Dobie Gillis are engaged.
Oh, come now.
Oh, come now.
Maynard.
Who do you think you're fooling, Dobie Gillis? Even your own father says you're not engaged.
Naturally, it's a secret engagement. Who do you think we were keeping it a secret from?
Dobie, you're superb.
Yes.
Oh, come now.
Maynard.
Zelda, my dove.
Dobie, my sweet.
Now that we're together, let me put my arms around you and we shall dance the night away. Ah, Zelda, you are lovely.
Dobie, you're a dream.
You are poetry.
You're divine.
When I get you alone, I'm going to strangle you.
I don't feel well.
You look rotten.
Dobie, how can I ever thank you for what you did last night? You saved my life.
Never mind the thanks, Zelda. Just stay about 100 miles away from me so it won't happen again.
You still don't realize that you rescued me because you love me, you poor deluded fool.
Zelda, I like you. I respect you. I admire your superior mind and sterling principles and perseverance and first-rate study habits. But love you? No, Zelda. No. Negative.
Dobie, that's not you talking, that's habit. You've been saying you don't love me for so many years that when you finally understand how you really feel, you won't even know what to say.
I'll know.
What will you say?
Never mind, I'll know.
Tell me what you'd say.
Zelda, please.
You see, you don't know.
Okay, I'd say I love you.
A little louder, please.
Huh?
I want to see if you're saying it properly. Now, go on, say it.
Oh. Okay, I'd say, I love you, Zelda, darling.
Now with feeling.
I love you, Zelda, darling.
Dobie, someday I'm going to get you to say that in front of witnesses.
Fat chance. Look, no offense, Zelda, but the day'll never... Zelda, what have you got in those flowers?
Flowers. Poopsie, just flowers. Let go. Go.
Zelda, a microphone.
Dobie, dear.
You sneak.
Dobie, dear.
Zelda, I'm ashamed of you.
Dobie, let me explain. Badly, of course, but please listen to me.
Zelda, you have a criminal mind.
Please.
Dobie wants a gal who's creamy. Dobie wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamer at all?